in 5 seconds.
Maggie and Perloff on the Infinity Sports Network.
Well, once again, committee gets it wrong. Welcome to the show. Maggie Gray, Andrew Perloff. Stop if you've heard that. We're thankfully 3 of these are down. We only have 3 more to go, Pearl, because I can't take it. College football playoff rankings is what I'm talking about. Good morning. Once again, Notre Dame getting that Notre Dame bump. You know,
they don't even need a bump now. They're in. Just pencil them in.
And I'm fine with them being in. And Notre Dame right now is at 9, and it looks like that's where they're going to stay, which is, you know, a little bit tough because the 8-9 matchup in the college football playoff ranking is very, very important for one reason. So the top 4 seeds get a bye. The next 4 get home games, get to host home games. And then the next 4 have to go to those campuses, and they have to play. So you really want to be the 8 and not the 9 if we're being honest. But Notre Dame, yeah.
But all that's probably going to change a bunch of times after the conference title games, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, that's true. And again, the conference title games are now a thing that are sort of up in the air right now. But Notre Dame being ahead of Alabama falling to 10, I was absolutely stunned by. And you have Miami now creeping back into the conversation at 13, Pearl, even though they are very much a long shot to make it to the ACC championship game. And then the other headline that I think came out of last night, my biggest thing is Alabama dropping. I know we want to talk about Notre Dame for sure. I could not believe they dropped 6 spots for losing by 2 points at home to another ranked team.
Bama?
Yes.
Yeah, but still, don't you think that they have a good path in?
Yeah, that's fine. And there's even a path where maybe they still make it to the SEC championship game. But I just ask you, what is the committee looking at when Alabama has 4 wins against the top 25 and they have more top 25 wins than Ole Miss, Oregon, and Notre Dame combined, all teams that are ranked now ahead of Alabama? And it's funny because you are usually the Alabama stan around here, but I'm outraged on behalf of Alabama. Not a place I thought I'd be.
Well, I just think that I think the committee is very pragmatic, and they say, you know, they want to send messages. They know Alabama's perfectly safe unless Auburn just shocks them. So I think they're like, well, we can put them down there and pretend that we care about strength of schedule or strength of victory or strength of loss or anything.
Yeah, they don't care about any of that.
But I think as long as they're safe, I don't think there's any fear there because 10 is like the last spot where you're really safe. Because at 11 and 12 will be automatic qualifiers and things like that.
Yeah, the ACC champion, the Group of 5 champion, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I understand what you're saying and you make a good point. But to me, it doesn't seem...
have to go on the road now. They shouldn't have to do that if the rankings, hold.
Right, but I feel like as long as you're in the field, that is not such a big deal. That's funny to me. That was not the most not shocking, but impactful. You have to look at the teams that are going to get out. Like to me, I view it as if you're in, you're in. That I understand you're getting much deeper into what actually happens once you get in.
Yeah, that's what the committee's supposed to do, Pearl. They're supposed to look deeper into what actually happened on the field.
But the real debate is always going to be who's the 13th team. Or who's the last team out? And that's really what I think you have to watch the messaging. Because let's face it, you mentioned Miami is still in a really tough spot because of the way the ACC, they're probably not going to make the ACC championship game. So are they high enough to get in despite that? And the answer is probably no at 13 because you're going to have the Group of 5 team and then
which would be Tulane right now.
And my poor Longhorns at 17.
Well, that's the other big takeaway. Yeah. Down goes Texas. And by that, not just the loss to Georgia where they got rolled in the fourth quarter by Kirby Smart, but that's it. It's out. It's over.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Okay.
I mean, they who's number 3 in the country? Texas A&M. So what happens if they win that game?
I don't think it gets them back into the top 12. I think this was it for Texas.
They might be ranked in the top 12. You're saying they won't make the field.
I don't think they're going to make the field. They're going to get blocked by the Group of 5 champion, the ACC champion. We'll see what happens with the Big 12. The Big 12 is a lot, there's some depth there. Texas Tech is now ranked 5th in the country in the college football playoff, so there's a lot of respect there. BYU and Utah are now at 11 and 12. I just think that's it for Texas. And as far as the college football playoff rankings are concerned. And I think it's officially a flop for Arch's first season as a full-time starter.
God, a flop. Remember there was that story in The Athletic about he's the college's first big bust? Are we still going there? The word flop?
Well, I'm just saying this season, if Texas is out of the college football playoff ranking, it's a disaster. And listen, Arch did get better as the season went on, so I'll give you that. I mean, I'd hope so. It couldn't get much worse off some of these games. But if you're talking about where the expectations were and then where they are now, yeah, absolutely. That's a major disappointment.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Of course, if you compare it to where they were in the beginning, the real problem for Texas was whoever scheduled going to Ohio State in week 1. I don't know what year that was. I was just Googling when did they announce that. Obviously, that's a mistake programs will never make moving forward. Like, those games are done.
Well, I wouldn't say that because it's actually helping Notre Dame. Think about it. Notre Dame right now is still ranked 9th, and part of the reason is because, according to who's the committee chair now? That guy was sweating bullets last night. I think he might need to get replaced. Hunter Yurachek from Arkansas. He's saying that Miami has worse losses than Notre Dame, which is why they're ranked behind Notre Dame, even though Notre Dame lost to Miami head-to-head. They're saying Miami lost to SMU in overtime and lost to Louisville, and those losses are worse than Notre Dame losing to Texas A&M and Miami. So you actually sometimes a good loss, air quotes, could help you.
Well, you know it's actually kind of meaningless? Any words that comes out of that idiot's mouth. So that's ridiculous. It's called the gold helmet he's wearing. And the scheduling... Honestly, if you think for 1 second that any AD who schedules a trip to Ohio State in week 1, like, that is not going to happen anymore. The Notre Dame has to get somebody on their schedule, so they'll have big schools in the first couple weeks. But no way. This is a strong message because if Texas was, what are they, 7-3 now? If they were 7-2 with the SEC, they'd be right where all the other 2-loss SEC teams are, and they'd be in the bracket. Like that, there's no way a team like Texas is going to go on the road to Ohio State. Like, those games are gone for September. Maybe next year, maybe some are already scheduled for the next couple of years, but you'd be out of your job if you were an AD who scheduled a top 10 game early in the season. What kind of moron would do that?
Idiots, morons, the whole
deal. Well,
it's
college football. This is basically this is not the sharpest group of the committee. What do you think they are?
Well,
they're just holding on for dear life, trying to get Notre Dame and other big brands in there.
Right, and that'd be like that's understanding the assignment, as they say. But here's my question about quickly. So Notre Dame ranked
smile, jabroni.
Notre Dame ranked 9th, now ahead of Alabama, who fell to 10th after they lost again by 2 points at home to Oklahoma. And on a field goal, basically, Notre Dame is below Alabama in strength of record and in strength of schedule by a lot. So, they said that they were going to look at different metrics this year and that they were going to involve strength of schedule. And clearly, they're just not doing it.
No.
And what I would love for these weekly ridiculous exercises where we have a backup AD who's now spouting these inconsistencies because the first AD had to take a leave of absence for some kind of personal scandal that he's dealing with. So college football.
Yeah.
But how about this? You have former coaches who are on this committee. You have people who actually have experience speaking into a camera.
Right. And
can communicate things clearly. How about put one of those guys up? I think Mark D'Antonio, the former Michigan State head coach, is on this committee. How about get Coach D'Antonio to come out here and tell us what's going on? I'll do you one better. Put Reese Davis in the room. He can interpret all this data, and then he can explain it to us as a professional broadcaster. To put that guy out there who was sweating like he knew the nuclear codes. I'm like, dude, you got to, pull it together.
Well, I like your idea of coaches because college football coaches are professional liars.
Professional liars. Get them out there.
Reese, I don't think Reese can lie as easily. I think get a coach out there so you'll just know whatever he's saying is completely self-serving. Because it's a sport that's designed for college coaches to be self-serving and out-recruit other teams. So he'll recruit you and be like, yeah, he'll sell this vision.
It would help them. Just a little. That's a free one for the committee. Anyway, asking you to take a couple questions. Number one, is Notre Dame ranked too high? Again, they are 9th, and so they are ahead of a Miami team that beat them.
Right.
They are ahead of an Alabama team that has 4 more quality wins than they do.
I mean, Notre Dame's schedule is hysterical. It just turned out to be so bad. I don't know if that's totally their fault, but it's going to be epically bad. What's the combined record of the teams they beat? It's terrible.
Well, how about this? I mean, again, I'll be outraged on behalf of Alabama, a place I'm not usually in. Mm-hmm. I mean, let's call it what it is. They've got better wins on their schedule than anything Oregon's got. They've got better wins on their schedule than Ole Miss. And yet they're still behind them significantly. Now, we got a big game coming up this weekend, Pearl. Oregon, USC, which
Not
is...
really. Oregon's going to kill them.
No,
USC being above Texas is crazy to me. Like, Texas, USC is not great. I've watched them play a lot. I don't know why the committee is in love with them. I think it's to beef up the teams that...
It's to beef up Notre Dame.
Yeah.
It's the only ranked win that Notre Dame has on the schedule.
I mean, then again, Oregon is a very unpredictable team this year, so we'll see. But I think, for example, you said Texas is stuck at 17. USC is going to lose to Oregon, at Oregon, you think, on the road. And then that's one team they'll jump. There's a bunch of teams that I'm looking at Texas to at least make a conversation. And then... to me, I'm looking at Miami. What is that ultimately, that conversation going to be? Because they'll probably be the number one team left out.
Yeah, well, they're doing this thing.
Yeah.
Again, we're talking about the College Football Playoff Committee rankings that came out last night. 3rd of 6. We're getting to the end, mercifully, of these dumb exercises. But they said something about tiers, and somehow Miami could find themselves in a tier with Notre Dame, and when they get to that tier, Pearl, this magical, mythical tier, that I guess beating, who's even left on Miami's schedule?
You got Virginia Tech and you got Pitt left.
All right. So apparently...
James Franklin's Vatek.
Yeah, he's not going to be coaching it, though, right? No.
Yeah.
That'd be hilarious. If somehow you reach this magical tier, which I guess is winning in Pittsburgh in cold weather, or I don't know what it is, then you get to somehow be close to Notre Dame, and then the head-to-head finally matters, bro.
Yeah. This Pittsburgh win that Miami will hopefully get for them, that is going to look a lot different than Notre Dame beating, quote-unquote, a ranked Pittsburgh, and then game day went there.
Oh,
because Pittsburgh's probably going to lose at Georgia Tech, and then Pittsburgh will ultimately be 7-5. So EJ shaking your head, but the reality is that win I love the way college football works. Like a win that looks good at one point, then looks worse later in the season if that team falls apart. And I'm sorry, I think Pitt is ending up right around 500. There's not going to be like a ranked win. EJ, you disagree? Or?
No, I'm going crazy because you're 100% right.
Yes, he is.
And this system is bogus because there are certain wins early in the season that matter, that they value,
not the
but
word
then
you use.
Certain games that they don't matter. So again, Notre Dame beats a quote-unquote ranked Pitt. Well, that's going to be, it's a ranked win. And then when Miami beats Pitt when they're not that great, sorry, they've already lost several games. I mean, Alabama, and I think Maggie's right. Like, Alabama, I think, is underrated in terms of this ranking. But, like, they lost to Florida State.
Who's 5-5.
Right, who's awful. Like,
in the opener, guys.
But, wow. This is the season, man.
No, I know, but this is the same thing. Notre Dame lost to Miami in the opener, and it feels like that doesn't matter either.
So why does the Texas loss to Ohio State matter so much?
I don't think it does. I think Texas's loss to Florida is what is dooming them, and the loss to Georgia is what's dooming them, not the loss to Ohio State.
But there's 2 lost SEC teams ahead of them that they beat. So obviously not. Oklahoma and Vanderbilt are ahead of them. So you're saying it clearly doomed them. There's no argument against that. Why would they be ranked below Oklahoma?
No, I think it's that you cannot excuse that Florida loss. That's it. Because I do think they would overlook the Ohio State, or I think they would at least, not drop them to 17.
Right, but if they didn't have that loss on their resume, they would be probably still in the field.
And to be honest, I mean, before this week when they got killed by Georgia, that loss wasn't hurting Texas.
It wasn't hurting them at all.
So what's the message this committee is sending? I have no idea. There's so much inconsistency. I mean, this jerk, he went up there yesterday.
We're killing this dude.
He went up there yesterday and said, well, Notre Dame has better losses than Miami, so that's why Notre Dame's ahead. Even though Miami's one of the losses. Like, that makes no sense. Miami beating Notre Dame is literally hurting Miami against the team they're going up against in the committee. It doesn't make any sense.
I know, EJ, this guy didn't know what planet he was on last night. He was so, not ready for... Listen, we've all been there. You got an earpiece in your ear. You're talking directly to a camera. Reese Davis is putting you over the coals, I guess. And... he was lost. You could see the sweat forming.
I mean, he looked like Patrick Ewing in the fourth quarter in 1994. I mean, get somebody else in there who can at least explain some of this stuff.
Yeah.
I mean,
they cut him short too. Usually they have like 6 or 7
like
questions.
2 questions.
They gave that guy the hook like it was
bye.
amateur night at the Apollo. Sweep him off the stage.
It doesn't matter what your name is.
Anyway, focus too much on that guy.
This is bad for college football because, like Perloff is mentioning, these early matchups that we got excited for, that were great matchups. That Notre Dame-Miami game was a big fight feel. That Alabama-Florida State game was a big feel. Like, those were awesome moments. Now, we're in 2-3 years, whenever we get to the point when the schedule's open, the first 4 weeks are going to be like NFL preseason.
Yep.
It's going to be not worth watching. Like, what? Like, if you're going to say that all these games matter and it's a body of work, then it can't be, well, just because you lost in the first week of the season, that doesn't matter, but you lose later, then it does matter. You have to take the whole thing into consideration. Otherwise, it happens to just play an 8-game season.
EJ, you're costing schools like Sam Houston money here because they're going to get a lot of major $1 million paydays to pay ranked teams.
I know, yeah, they're going to be in the Big Ten and the SEC by the time this is all over.
Yeah, I know they're going to play. I mean, seriously,
Bring them in.
If you're, personally, if I was an AD at an SEC school or a Big Ten school, I would just look at Notre Dame and be like, how do we get that schedule? Service academies, come on, baby.
Navy was ranked. That was
Ivy
considered
League,
a good
come
win
on,
for them
baby.
because Navy beat
Ivy
USF.
League. Yeah, I know Navy's ranked every year until they get destroyed by Notre Dame.
I don't know. They beat USF, which is at one time was one of Miami's big wins.
But the Miami wasn't getting credit for it. Like, Notre Dame gets credit for wins against ranked non-Power 5 schools, and so, look, they beat Navy, they're ranked. Well, Miami beat South Florida. They were top 12. They were top 10. They just finished beating off Florida. Like, at what point are you going to start actually judging the stuff that's happening? I can't deal with these guys.
If I'm Alabama and Oklahoma, I would just call the Purdue AD, get a home and home forever. Get Purdue, Maryland, Rutgers, somehow do a crossover to get into that. You have to get access to the bottom of that Big Ten. I don't know what happened to that. That is obviously a major, major factor here. These basketball schools who apparently don't care about football, get into that game, and then you're gold. Then you're going to win a title. Although, by the way, Notre Dame does not deserve to be there, but man, would I not want to play Notre Dame.
No, well, that's the thing. They keep saying it's like eye test, but...
Oh, well, I mean, Notre Dame might not end up deserving because of their strength of schedule, but that doesn't mean that they're not going to be awesome once they get to the playoff, which is a funny thing about this whole conversation.
It's hilarious, and I love it's like the air quotes punishment for Notre Dame is going to be going on the road to play probably a team that is a cold weather team maybe, so it's not even going to be that bad.
Yeah, I would think there's so much parity in college football right now. I don't think that the rankings really matter. Except for the ACC school and the Group of 5 school. I think everyone's going to have a great, and the Big 12 school. The SEC and the Big 10 teams, you tell me who's a favorite over anybody. Like, you have no idea. I think it's going to be a wild, wild west.
I know, but just remember last year, and I'm not saying just because it happened last year, it's going to happen this year, but everyone who got a home game in that first round of last year, I mean, they steamrolled.
Yeah, but there was some bad weather for SMU, and like a lot of things happened.
Tennessee had to go to Ohio State. They lost by a lot.
I think there's more parity this year. For example, Texas A&M is number 3. They were down 27-3 to South Carolina, who's 3-6. What else do you need to know about this year? Anything could happen. It's going to be Kirby Smart. It's going to come down to Kirby Smart 4th down call in the semifinal. There's just so much parity right now that I don't think it really matters once you get into the field. You're right about that home road. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
But once you get into that Final Four, good luck predicting this one.
888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. You're welcome to weigh in on these rankings. I'm now suddenly an Alabama defender. Didn't think I'd find myself here, but they are getting absolutely screwed. I mean, to drop that far after losing by 2 points to Oklahoma, considering they probably have the single best win of the entire college football season? I don't know. Seemed a little harsh to me. But anyway, also Notre Dame, are they ranked way too high? And if you are a Miami fan like EJ, you're welcome to call in and complain. Safe space, everybody. Other things that are going on today. We've got major NFL news for you. We've got college football coaching news for you, including Lane Kiffin now setting the record straight, Pearl? Maybe, about his future at Ole Miss? Sort of.
It's not how I heard that.
We'll get to that.
Yeah.
And LeBron was back last night, everybody. 888-710-4ISN. It's the Maggie and Perloff Show. Call in with your gripes about college football.
You're in a 5-minute break. 4 minutes, 30 seconds remaining.
Late night vibes hitting up the show. Andrew Perloff loves his turtle.
3 minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. .45 seconds remaining. .30 seconds remaining. .15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Welcome back, Maggie and Perloff Show. Heated argument over the college football playoff ranking. Maggie's upset about Alabama, and I'm upset about Texas. And I'm upset. I understand why they're 17, but I mean, they screwed up. They never should have had that Ohio State game in there to week 1, which, by the way, came down to a couple plays. And I am also a Texas apologist. I know they lost 35-10 to Georgia. There literally were 2 plays that changed that entire game. Texas was down 14-10, and Georgia hit a 4th down play, then the onside kick. I think the win probability shifted towards Texas when they were down 14-10. They obviously figured out their offense, and then Arch didn't get on the field for 14 minutes. It was the most bizarre game ever. Credit Kirby Smart, but Texas is going to probably not make it in. But at 17, they'll climb up to about 12, and then their fans are going to be mad.
Let's go to the phones. We asked you, what are you mad about with college football today? Got a couple things. Jeff's in Dallas. Good morning, Jeff.
Hey, good morning, y'all. Perloff, I'm listening to you, man. You're hung up on these bad losses or tough schedule stuff, man. Texas took 2 games into overtime against unranked teams. Like, that's bad wins.
Sorry, Jeff, where I come from, a win is what matters, not how you win. A win counts, doesn't it? So you're a pure eye test, like prettiest win.
Ask AJ Brown about that.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's
Jeff.
I don't know if you're pure eye test, but it was at Kentucky and at Mississippi State. It's not like you took, it wasn't Oklahoma. Well, they beat Oklahoma, but it wasn't Georgia who they took to overtime, like Tennessee did.
I'm just saying, if you're favored and you want to be that team that Texas is supposed to be, then you take care of teams like that. I mean, that's what
well, that's a reality.
It's supposed to be, right? Eye test, like how you win matters, not just that you win.
Well, Jeff, I agree. The team's not that great. I mean, their O-line is still a disaster, and their receivers can't catch. So Arch is on fire, though. Arch's analytics numbers are growing like crazy. He had an 82% completion percentage adjusted after drops last week. When he's not getting sacked by 9 different guys, he's very, very good. So at least they fixed Arch to a large extent. That's something. If I'm Texas, I'm feeling good. Just get a completely new offensive line in next year, and you'll be number 1 again and probably disappoint.
Oh, lovely. I'm sure they can't wait for that. Meanwhile, we do have a little nugget here on Steve Sarkisian's future. Meanwhile, Jim is in South Carolina. Jim, big Notre Dame fan.
Yeah. Hey, good morning. I just had to call in because, just had to kind of lean on the other side from where it seems like everybody there in that studio is ready to take pitchforks and torches to my Irish. But
is it that obvious?
Yeah. But that's okay. I mean, I understand. There's a lot of thought out there like that. But if Notre Dame played Miami today, okay, where both teams are, how both teams are playing, who would win?
Where's the game?
Who would win?
Well, probably Notre Dame would certainly be favored. Sure.
Okay. And because the ACC turned out this year to be weaker than the group of 5 teams, Notre Dame is committed to playing 5 of those ACC teams. And I think you said it right when you said what team out there right now, maybe outside of Ohio State, maybe outside of Indiana that wants revenge, who would want to face Notre Dame in the playoffs right now? No one, because they are playing the best ball they played all year.
Yeah, but they still have losses. Like, that's the thing, Jim. I think what people are going to say, that you just acknowledge easy-ish schedule, right? Because the ACC was down this year, and they do have losses. Listen, I'll credit Notre Dame because they do schedule fun games at the beginning of the season, but those games matter. And if you are a Miami fan, you're like, what the heck? How are we not in the same tier, according to the Arkansas AD last night on TV? How are we not in the same tier as Notre Dame when we beat Notre Dame?
Yeah, and I mean, I get that argument, but there again, if they replayed that game today, I think if they also replayed the A&M game today at a neutral site, those games may end up differently because Notre Dame is playing better ball. Mm-hmm. Miami, has turned out to be what everybody thought they would be when they have who they have at quarterback. But yeah, I mean, he's playing like he played at Georgia.
Jim, let me ask you a question. Jim, can I ask you a question? Who is the best player on Notre Dame right now? Like the obvious one. Right.
Jeremiah Love.
What did he do against Miami? He could barely get past the line. He got stuffed. What did he do against A&M? Yeah. He was totally ineffective. Now he just romps over these bad teams. So you could make an argument that Jeremiah Love has built a resume on cupcakes and did not do anything against Miami. So I'm not sure that. By the way, and I agree Notre Dame playing much better, but we don't know that how they match up against great teams because they weren't able to run on Miami. So I'm not sure I totally agree.
Jim, thank you so much for the phone call. And the other thing too about A&M, yes, it took a big time comeback against South Carolina. I get that last week, but before that, A&M was cruising. So.
No, A&M is a totally erratic team. You have no idea what's going to happen. A&M, yeah, they were cruising, but they, 45-42 Arkansas. Arkansas had that game. For example,
they're
a
thumped
wild
LSU
team.
at LSU.
LSU's
they thumped
terrible.
Mizzou. I'm just saying.
You're
talking about eye test.
But A&M's a wild ride. You will admit that.
It's hard to defend them after this week when they needed an all-time comeback.
Yeah.
EJ, you want rebuttal against Jim, the Notre Dame fan, who made some good points.
Listen, but like this idea in Miami, they've won 3 of their last 5 games, but they've won 2 in a row. The last 2 games, they won by a combined 60-plus points. There's this narrative that Miami's just losing every week and every game is a barn burner down the stretch when that hasn't been the case. They lost 2 games on the final play, one of them being on the road to an SMU team that, by the way, could be ranked. The fact that they're not ranked is just the committee deciding not to make them ranked. They're 7-3. They have decent wins. They only have 1 loss in the ACC. There's no reason why SMU can't be ranked. They're just deciding not to make them ranked.
Yeah, I guess if I were Jim here and to defend the Notre Dame side of this, just devil's advocate, Notre Dame is also thumping people. If you want to say Miami is winning by margin, so is Notre Dame.
But who are they? Oh, yeah.
But who did Miami?
Who are either of the beating? That's what I'm saying.
At this point, if you're talking about the last 2 games or, since November.
Listen, when they played NC State a couple weeks ago, that was a 10-7 game at halftime. Miami had that team. That team didn't get past the 50-yard line last week. So, what do we, again, I'm not expecting every Notre Dame fan to be watching every Miami game. Just I'm not watching every Notre Dame game. But, we got to be fair with what we're talking about, what's happening in Miami. Yes, they lost 2 games, and Jim can talk all he wants about the quarterback and Carson Beck regressing. You know what hasn't regressed? The defense. And like Perloff mentioned, Love did nothing against Miami. Miami's defense has been phenomenal all season. There's no reason to believe Miami wouldn't also have a good chance of stopping Jeremiah Love again.
By the way, is he going to win the Heisman? We'll get to that in just a little bit. I know Fernando Mendoza is a bit of a favorite, but Love has got some crazy numbers. Let's get to Andrew Bogish, who's got the latest headlines for us on this very busy Wednesday.
Guys, good morning. All the headlines sponsored by Prize Picks. The hard-hitting football action even better with Prize Picks. Download Prize Picks and use code PRIMETIME.
Don't forget, I had 2 sons.
And get $50 bonus credit instantly when you play $5. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details. He was very much back last night.
Biggest deficit was 11.
Well,
here we go. Welcome back.
LeBron scratches for the first time.
There you go. That all-time leading total has just had 3 added to it.
That's from Lakers TV. LeBron, 11 points, 12 assists in 30 minutes in his delayed season debut, thanks to that pesky sciatica.
And as the game went on, my win got a lot better. Caught my second win, caught my third win. Rhythm is still coming back, obviously. First game in quite almost 7 months. So, everything that happened tonight was as expected.
All the Lakers needed second and third wins, coming from behind to beat the Jazz 140-126 in L.A. last night. By playing in this game, LeBron became the first player ever to appear in a 23rd NBA season.
Wow, good for La Sciatica.
Imagine what it's like to have a third wind. I've never even experienced that before. Maybe a second wind.
I'd hardly have a first one.
Have a third win.
The slightly less old Steph Curry scored 34 last night, but his Warriors lose in Orlando 121-113. And those Pistons now on an 11-game win streak, 120-112 in Atlanta. Cade Cunningham, 25 points, 10 assists in his first game in a week. The college kids had MSG to themselves last night. The annual Champions Classic had number 17 Michigan State pounding number 12 Kentucky 83-66. Then 9th-ranked Duke handled number 24 Kansas 78-66. The Jayhawks once again did not have potential number 1 pick next summer, Darren Peterson, because of a hamstring injury. As the dust settles on another CFP rankings reveal, we would have Texas Tech Tulane Oklahoma, Notre Dame, Ole Miss, Miami, and Oregon, Alabama in round 1. Ohio State, meanwhile, remains number 1 and will probably be there next week as well, since they're playing Rutgers Saturday. The Buckeyes will not say if Jeremiah Smith or Carnell Tate will be out there for that one. Both receivers have unspecified injuries. Smith has been playing. Tate, though, has missed their last 2 games. Trent Grisham choosing true love over fame and fortune. The Yankee center fielder accepting his $22 million qualifying offer to remain in the Bronx as close to Manny as possible instead of finding a richer, longer-term deal elsewhere.
Yeah, I don't know about $22 million for him.
Suddenly not such a big fan.
That's a lot of money for a fourth outfielder.
Tigers infielder Gleyber Torres, Cubs lefty Shota Imanaga, and Brewers righty Brandon Woodruff also accepting their qualifying offers. 9 other pending free agents did not, so their current teams, I guess their former teams, would get a draft pick if they sign elsewhere.
Is the mustache worth $4 million alone out of that 22? I think it's a bargain.
Come on, don't be so cheap. It's like 7.
What's funny is that, because I think we can talk about this because there's Yankee fans all over the country and all over the world, but this is where the Yankees are at, where I think, Manny, why you're worried about Trent Grisham accepting the qualifying offer and playing for $20+ million is because I think you're really concerned it may prohibit the Yankees from signing Cody Bellinger.
Yeah, that's definitely a problem.
Think about that.
That's definitely a problem as
Sorry
well.
to show.
Monetarily, it doesn't really make sense to try to get Cody Bellinger. You might have to move some money around, and it also kind of backstops Spencer Jones, who's a prospect that the Yankees have. But why should I believe in any Yankee prospects? Because they've stunk over the last decade.
You sound like a Pirates fan right now. Like, oh my gosh, if we signed one guy for $20 million, that's it. That's the budget.
Yeah,
They're the Yankees.
Hey, you know what? The Yankees, Pirates, same. I've always said that since 1960.
I think, unless I'm misunderstanding the entire system, the Yankees didn't have to offer him this deal.
No, not at all.
So don't you think that they know that they could afford him and Cody Bellinger?
No, I don't think they do know that.
I think they're surprised that maybe he accepted. This is like if you ask somebody to the prom and you're not expecting them to say yes and then they do. Or I'm trying to think of another
Well,
example.
it's like the thing like a lawyer, don't ask a question you don't know the answer to.
Yeah, maybe
like
that's better.
The Yankees, if they didn't want him, they should have just not put this on him and have the risk of him staying.
And they killed his free agent market.
The comp 4th round pick, though, that was worth the $22 million somehow for Brian Cashman.
Wait, why do you want Cody Bellinger so bad?
Because he's a good baseball player.
Very good
Because
baseball
he's
player.
good at
Check
baseball.
out his analytics, dude.
Who cares
They're
about
good.
Dude,
that guy swings at everything.
Who cares about the analytics, bro? Have you seen him swing a bat? It's perfect for Yankee Stadium. Who cares about the analytics?
What's his
have the
on base
eye
percentage?
test.
He also
Like,
plays
I feel like he
four
gets out all the
positions.
time.
Who cares about the on base percentage when he's hitting the ball out of Yankee Stadium? It's 314 down the right field line. He has a great swing for Yankee Stadium. I don't need analytics when it comes to Cody Bellinger. I've got my ojos, my eyes, baby.
Isn't the key to baseball walking all the time and having guys with high analytics numbers like OPS?
Paying a certain amount of money for. He's
He
a
had
good
272 this year with a 334 OBP. Those are way too close for me. Like, that means that he was not walking at all.
Right, but his OPS is over 100. That's not bad.
No, he was not bad this year, but I mean, still, that's obviously not ideal in today's game. To have an OBP of 334 that's a lot of outs.
Yeah, but he's still a good player.
And he's a great defensive player. I mean,
Yes,
that's
at
a
multiple
big,
positions.
I think you're paying a lot of money for things that might not help you as much as you think. That's how I build a team.
Yeah.
I like I'm more of a money ball guy. I didn't know
Right,
Moneyball was
because the
out
Phillies
now.
are definitely
Hits out.
saving pennies over there.
Schwarber, what is his on-base percentage? He strikes out or hits a home run.
I'm
love
talking
that guy.
about Bryce Harper and Trey Turner and the 3 pitchers you have that are on huge contracts.
What was Cody Bellinger's OBP?
334.
365 for Kyle Schwarber. 30
Right, he
points
almost won
higher.
the MVP.
So-
Like, it wasn't like he was that.
Yeah, that's Kyle Schwarber. That's amazing that he even got to 365.
Right, but why is Kyle Schwarber in Philly? Because he has the perfect swing for that bandbox of a stadium,
Yeah, that's a good
Pearl.
point.
Come on,
But still,
man. It's the
Cody
same thing
Bellinger's
with
gotta
Cody
take a few
Bellinger.
more
It's what I
pitches
just
here.
said with Cody.
Yeah, it's just a style play. Cody Bellinger is like a 9-year-old loves that guy because he hits so many home runs.
Yeah,
but
I am 9.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
All right. Anything else?
I mean, I was going to be nice to Perloff, but I kind of don't want to. But anyway, here you go.
Into the corner. Here's Bernard making moves. Knocked off a stick. He's able to recover. He'll try it from his own zone for the hat trick. He's got it. Connor Bernard. Second career hat trick. 5-2 Hawks.
Yes, the honorary Perloff son, Connor Bedard, a hat trick in a 5-2 Chicago win over Calgary.
If you really want to get annoyed by a take by me, I did some NBA scouting last night. What's the deal with Cameron Boozer? I know EJ knows. Like,
What's the deal with him?
He's 6'9". Can he dunk? Does he get over the rim ever? That dude is glued to the ground.
I mean, he's not like a high flyer, but he can dunk. Ask me, obvious question.
Yeah. I read a headline that Carlos Boozer's son was going to be the number one pick.
Boozer is a bunch of a dunker.
Yeah, I know. He plays like his dad.
Yeah.
You can't be the number one pick and play like that, right? So I think the number one pick thing, based on my 15 minutes of watching Duke last night, feels a little overstated. I feel like his name is selling him a little more than his actual play.
That's wild to me.
I don't know. The dude plays a little bit under the rim. He's like a shifty older guy who's 18 years old.
I mean, the comparison is Paolo Banchero, and Paolo Banchero is not some
crazy
high
dunker.
flyer.
Yeah.
And
That's a high comparison.
He's averaging 25 points a game as a freshman. Like, he's putting up the numbers.
That's a high comparison. Well, if he's Paolo Banchero, then I take it back. But
I mean, he's the number one player coming out of high school. He's him. He's supposed to be a star.
I don't know.
Pearl didn't like what he saw from the Garden last night. 888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. Okay, lots more to do, including you're still welcome to call in with your gripes about the College Football Playoff Committee. Phone lines open for you. Also, some injury news to quarterbacks that you must know about before this weekend's NFL action. M&P.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. 1 minute remaining. "45 seconds remaining. "30 seconds remaining. "15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Welcome back to the Maggie and Perloff Show. We're asking you to call in with your gripes about the College Football Playoff Committee, but I want to quickly go to our pal Kevin in San Antonio. Kevin, good morning, sir. How are you?
Perloff, you are correct. You are very correct about Texas. They need an offensive line, and they need to go back to the drawing board. Now, for Miami, they need to go back to the drawing board too, because you're going to see college football is going to be very interesting. The small schools go get into the tournament, just like the NCAA men's basketball tournament.
And they may be an upset. Wait, Kevin. So Kevin is, love Kevin, been a loyal listener to the show for many, many years as we moved to mornings and really became friends with Kevin, from a distance. Obviously, he's in San Antonio. Sends us a picture of his breakfast every morning to maggieandperloff@gmail.com. Kevin, these photos from your 40th high school reunion, these women are smoking hot. Are you single?
No, yeah, I'm divorced. Okay. I'm divorced.
But you're out there.
Yeah, everybody would ask me, "Oh, the man's getting all these women on it." I was very popular in high school. I played football and everything else, and I was saying to some people that some people are gonna make it, some people not. So I decided to go to the class reunion. It was a lot of people I know. We had a good time in high school.
Oh, it looks like it. I'm telling you, I think Charles Barkley did a disservice to women in San Antonio because he has this funny bit about women in San Antonio. These women are gorgeous. Everyone is aging beautifully. Pearl, look at this. Look at these women. Kevin's surrounded by 6 women in this photo, 5 women in this photo. They're beautiful. Oh,
I've seen better.
Oh, come on, Kevin.
Sorry, Kevin, I can't see. I'm just kidding.
Kevin, thank you for the phone call. These women are smoking hot. Are you single? Take a closer look. Look at these ladies. That's a 40th high school reunion, Pearl. Are they looking like that at Lower Merion?
I'm not shallow, so I really want to know about their personality.
Oh, be as shallow as a children's pool. Come on.
I mean, the headline here is Kevin wearing a Gale Sayers jersey?
Yes, he is.
That's swag.
I mean, why do you think all these women are they're all around him?
I don't know.
Big old women.
They're pretty.
I'm not going to comment on the women in Kevin's photo.
Do it.
I'm not putting it out on the internet.
I'm not.
That's all peer pressure, Pearl.
No, you can't put that out on the internet. Evaluate these women?
No.
What
I'm
are
saying
you, like a hot or not?
That's all I do. That's my entire shtick.
Honestly, that's what Facebook was originally invented for.
Amen.
But let's not go back to the Stone
they
Age.
seem like lovely women. I am not going to comment on their looks.
Meanwhile,
lots of personality, right, Pearl?
Perloff will call LeBron James fat and not even think twice about it.
He just called poor
that
Yurchek a moron earlier.
I love it.
He called what? Oh, the committee?
Yeah.
I mean, that's hot. Anyone who thinks the committee is not a bunch of idiots, that's a hot take. Like, does anybody have faith in that committee?
Also, how about this for Kevin? Peanut butter flavored pancakes. Anyone?
Oh, that sounds amazing.
Yeah, they look pretty good.
Well, actually, no. If I were to do pancakes, I'm taking all those calories. I'm not complicating it with peanut butter. I would just go, I'm more of a straight syrup guy and maybe bananas.
How about this? This is going to be speaking your language. Kevin made homemade waffles, Pearl, but it looks like that's bacon in between. He turned them into sandwiches. like bacon, egg, and cheese with the waffle as the bread.
Now that sounds, that's
no
Texas
wonder all these
cooking.
women are all around him.
Texas cooking right there.
Kind of like the waffle and chicken craze.
Yes, chicken and waffles for brunch is undefeated.
That's also very good.
Oh man, I'm telling
Somebody's
you,
hungry, by the way.
I'm starving.
You're buying breakfast?
I brought it.
Damn it.
I know. Good for Kevin.
Oh, by the way, he's not
40th high
dating
school
these
reunion.
women.
Well, I don't know. I mean, you don't know what happened. I don't know what happened that night. But here's the thing.
Gentleman never tells.
40th high school reunion. I mean, that's dicey, right? Like some people are gonna.
What you trying to say?
I'm just saying, like that's gonna be. There's probably gonna be a wide variety of how people have done over the last 40 years since high school. You know, 10-year reunion, 20-year reunion. Everyone's hanging on.
So Kevin's in San Antonio. Why is he wearing a Gale Sayers jersey again? Sorry, did I miss something?
I don't know. Love Kevin Sayers.
Like, what do you wear to your high school
swag.
reunion?
He looks cool.
He just did it for the swag.
Why'd you wear a Texas kind of uniform, like
Everybody's
Ricky
seen
Williams?
that. You got to be different.
Yeah, Ricky Williams is not his time. He's at a 60th. He's at a 40th high school reunion. He's 60 years old.
Yeah, but Gale Sayers, the Kansas Comet, I just think that's an odd choice. If listen, if I was going to wear a jersey to my reunion, it'd have to be, for example, the Eagles.
But you wear Randall Cunningham, someone from your time.
Yeah, but 40th high school reunion, I don't think Gale Sayers was that time either for Kevin.
Maybe
Gale
he was a
Sayers played in
child,
like
probably.
1960.
Right. Well, I'm not doing this math, but what would he be? 5 or 6?
Yeah.
Yeah, he could have been a Gale Sayers fan as a kid.
I just think also wearing a football jersey to your high school reunion.
I think
that's not
it's
where I
awesome.
would go. I'd wear a suit, like a jacket.
Yeah, but that's because you're you. Wait,
I
have
mean,
you,
I don't
do you
know.
go to high school reunions or no?
No, I've never been to one.
Neither have I.
I'm literally straight out of high school, so
You haven't had one yet.
I have no comment.
Boo.
I've been to one.
How'd it go?
It was cool.
But see,
It was weird though.
You're 10 years out, right?
No, I'm now. I'm not
I'm
15
10
now.
years
Maggie.
out.
But you went to a 10-year.
No, I went to the 5.
Oh, you went to the 5. Okay, but
I
no
didn't go
one's,
to the 10.
everyone's
There's
kind of
5?
around still. Like, I don't think anyone's looking different or. Oh, okay, never mind.
Stand corrected,
My bad.
Maggie.
My bad.
5 years is a lot of time.
Is it?
Freshman, 15, sophomore, 20. Yeah. It's a lot of time.
People
No,
get fat, Maggie. That's
Yeah.
what EJ's trying
No,
to say.
I was picking up what you were putting
It's
down.
not the greatest place if you're not a single person to go.
It's not a good place if you're in a relationship.
Not if you're not single. Yeah.
If you're not single. Okay. Tyrone in Dallas. Tyrone, you go to your high school reunion?
No, I never go to my high school reunion. I don't like those weirdos anyway. But I want to. First of all, I want to say good morning to y'all.
Good morning.
And number two, I want to say, EJ, I got this, man. To Collar Jim, say, man, if Notre Dame played Miami again, I don't care if it was at Notre Dame, I don't care if it was at Miami, I don't care if it was the Moon, I don't care if it was the parking lot at my job. Miami a boat race, Notre Dame. I'm telling you, it is what it is. Because one thing about Notre Dame, and it's the reason why they always lose in the playoffs, because when they play a physical team, they're too finesse. They're not a physical team. That's why they always crap out. So, Jim, to answer your question, yes, Miami would beat them. The only reason why Miami...
Tyrone,
They went
that's
to the
all.
national championship game
All they did was
last
run
year.
over people last year with Riley Leonard. They didn't even pass the ball once the entire playoff.
That's okay. And then when they played Ohio State, who was more of a more physical team, they punked them.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't the
y'all saw the
championship game.
They
though.
absolutely punked them.
Yeah.
That's
Tyrone,
fine.
We're up
That's
against
fine.
it.
They went through a bunch of finesse teams to get to the championship game.
Thank you for that.
That's funny. I think of that Notre Dame last year, they couldn't throw the ball. So how is that a finesse team?
Doesn't want to go to his high school reunion with those weirdos. That's funny. 888-710-4ISN. Call in with your college football gripes. And coming up next, we're going to do the great debate a little early. Hold tight.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. 4 minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. Forty-five seconds remaining. Thirty seconds remaining. Fifteen seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Maggie and Perloff on the Infinity Sports Network.
One of my favorite things in sports is college football. One of my least favorite things in sports is watching the college football playoff ranking show every Tuesday and having my blood boil for absolutely no reason. Welcome to the show, Maggie Gray, Andrew Perloff. Things I didn't even realize I cared about, Pearl.
Like what?
Like Alabama getting absolutely hosed.
Oh, come
they
on.
lost this game to Oklahoma by 2 points at home. They have one of the best resumes in the country, one of the strongest strength of schedules, maybe have the best individual win of the entire year. And for some reason, Alabama dropped 6 spots yesterday from 4 to 10. They're now behind Notre Dame. They're behind Oregon. They're behind Ole Miss. They're behind these teams that they have better resumes than. And it's just like, it's stupid to me. And it makes me mad.
You think they have better resume than Oregon, huh? You would put them ahead of Oregon?
What's Oregon's good win?
Well, I mean, yeah, but they only have 1 loss.
Well, but what's their good win?
Well, they had 1
Iowa.
good win, right?
They got beat at home by 10 points by Indiana.
That's pretty radical to put a bunch of 2-loss teams ahead of the 1-loss teams. So you would have, No,
I'm just saying to drop all the way to 10. So maybe.
But they just dropped them. Yeah, I mean, they put Oklahoma ahead of them because Oklahoma just beat them.
Yeah, but other head-to-head matchups don't matter. Like, it's weird. It's this moving target, and I get the committee has a tough job or whatever, but they're not actually good at explaining it. And I think Alabama's too low in the current rankings, and I think that Notre Dame is too high at 9. You know, it looks like Notre Dame's kind of at least locked into something around 8 or 9. And that's actually a very big difference because if you're ranked 8th in this current version of the college football playoff, you get a home game. If you're ranked 9th, you have to go on the road for that opening round game.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see how much they count the conference title games. Because obviously, if you look at that, there's going to be a ton of losses ahead of Notre Dame, so they could move up.
And you didn't get a clear answer last night from the new guy, Hunter Yurachek. Do we want to play some of him? He was struggling.
Well, I think the key is
he couldn't really come up with a great answer, Pearl, about whether if you lose your conference championship game, how much that counts against you. He just kept calling it another data point.
Right, exactly, because they have no idea. They're just going to decide the final day. But actually, so Notre Dame at number 9, assuming they don't lose, which they're probably not going to, there's a lot of opportunities to move up because you're probably going to get, of the 8 teams ahead of them, I would say at least 4 are going to lose the game. So I wouldn't worry about the actual 8, 9 and the home away yet. There's a lot of losses left. The key is obviously Miami's boxed out. And my Texas Longhorns are very, very boxed out at 17.
They dropped to 17.
Yeah,
Texas.
so I think that we overestimate this is the exact ranking where we look at we're like, oh my God, this and that's going to happen. Because you know how the last 2 weeks every year, like wild stuff happens. I don't know exactly what's going to happen, but I remember last year we were at this exact point in the same year looking at it, and then man, a bunch of teams lost. Close games, a lot of rivalries coming up. I think Alabama's fine. They're totally going to be. You're right. They'll probably have to go on the road now. I still think if they get the right matchup, they could definitely find a bracket that works for them to go very far. Okay,
but again, I don't think they're a team that should have to go on the road because last year every team that went on the road in the first round lost badly. And so I don't know if the history is going to repeat itself, but you're clearly at a disadvantage. And you know, so I find myself as an Alabama stan today. Okay. And then also now Miami, they're kind of doing this weird split the baby kind of thing where they're ranked at 13 right now, but not yet, according to the committee, in the same tier as Notre Dame, even though they beat Notre Dame.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, listen, that's
good luck with all that.
Things to come. I just don't see how Miami's going to get in because they're not going to be in the conference title game. So with 2 losses, you're going to have a bunch of SEC schools with 2 losses. And then you're going to have them. I just don't see it happening.
888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. We're asking, what are you mad about when it comes to college football today? We also have some coaching news that we'll get to you in a moment. Andreas is in Chicago. Andreas, fix college football for us.
Good morning. So I've thought in the past about redoing the whole college football playoff system. So there's 128 teams. So my proposal is you do the top 64 as a tier 1, the top 64 as a tier 2, 32 teams in each conference, Western, Eastern Conference, rename everything, and then you have 8 teams per division, so that's 4 divisions in each conference. And the top 16 from each conference goes to playoffs. Top two teams can get a first round bye, you just play it out.
Yeah, Andreas, listen, Andreas, sorry, not to cut you off. Listen, it's a good idea. It's going to be like in the year 2040 if it happens, right? College football moves at such a glacial pace sometimes. Sometimes it's slow, sometimes it's slow, then fast. College football is a moving target. And right now, Pearl, they on December 1st, they have to vote on whether they're going to expand this version of the college football playoff from 12 teams to 16. Not even sure if that's going to pass right now and what the structure would be then. I like Andreas' idea, make this more like the NFL, but that's not going to happen for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, I saw Ross Dellinger, our former colleague at Sports Illustrated. He said 24 has now been seriously put into play, which is an odd number. The bracket of 24 doesn't really come off the tongue, but yeah, I think that they're going to grow. I think it's going to happen faster rather than sooner, at least at 16.
I want to play something for you guys. Can I get the Desmond Howard? So you mentioned it, Pearl, your Texas Longhorns. Well, it looks like it's curtains for the college football playoff for them in the first season of Arch Manning being a starter. Well, they're at 17 right now.
Yeah, but in this exercise, what if they get a win over A&M?
I don't know if it's going to be enough.
Might not be enough.
Because then how many SEC teams are you really getting in? At this point,
a lot.
You're 5 already,
yeah,
which is quite a bit in a 12-team playoff. But I was thinking about this, like, how are we going to remember this first year with Arch Manning, right? They were preseason number 1. First year is Arch with a starter.
Right.
I get he's a junior. But preseason number 1, he was the preseason Heisman favorite. At one point, they were completely out of the top 25. Credit to them. They got themselves back up to 10, I think, was the highest they got. And now they're down to 17. But the future of Steve Sarkisian, I think, is very much up in the air. So here's Desmond Howard, who you think knows some people in college football. This is him on his social media yesterday.
Don't be surprised if that Texas job opens up at the end of the season. You guys were shocked when LSU opened up. Imagine how you're going to feel if that job in Austin pops open. I'm not calling or saying anyone's going to get fired. Maybe a mutual parting of ways. You dig?
Was he taking out the trash?
Yeah, he was doing one of those walk and talks. I think he was walking a dog or something. But here's the thing. That's off the heels of a Diana Rossini report from a couple weeks ago that got Sark very upset, where she said representatives from Steve Sarkisian were poking around the NFL, including the Tennessee Titans job.
You dig?
Yeah, I don't understand. One thing, I kind of more agree with Desmond. Like, why would the NFL come after Sark this year when it's the worst offense he's probably ever had? Right? I mean, I heard Sark tell me, it's like, I've never not been able to run the ball. I don't know what's happening. So, because obviously his offensive line isn't just bad. They are atrocious. So the entire offense fell apart for the first half of the season. Like, why would he get a job now?
Well, because you're thinking about body of work, right? Wouldn't you take 1 year where it doesn't look right? I think this is Sark wanting to get out of college football. That was the initial report. He was poking around. His representatives were poking around. And maybe he either realizes he doesn't want to do college football anymore, wants to challenge himself with the NFL. But just because this year happened to be a little step back doesn't erase all the other things he's done in college football.
I kind of heard Desmond say he's going to get fired.
No, he said no one's getting fired. It's a mutual parting.
No, but that was I'm not saying anyone's getting fired, but that was a mutual, quote unquote mutual. It sounded to me that he's saying the powers that be of Texas are done with Sark. That's how I read that one. He's like, I don't want to say anyone is fired, but he's clearly saying, because you started the show talking about it, it's a huge disappointment this year.
Yeah, it is.
There's no way Sark is like a hot item and he's going to go to the Titans after this season. I think it would be a bunch of other players.
Cliff Kingsbury got hired off a losing record in college. Yeah. Like, I don't know if I think you can't be so laser focused in on this year. I think you have to think about, okay, Sark, is he a program builder? Does somebody want to go down to the college ranks to get him? And he does run a good offense. Just this year has had some trouble.
Yeah, I also think Sark, from his point of view, why would he leave a very young Texas team now when he could theoretically have a better team next year?
I don't think there's such a thing as young or old anymore. It's
but they're definitely an inexperienced team.
Well, I would say this. Every year, though, you basically almost start over. I'm not saying with an entirely new roster, but something like that.
Well, I think he would return. I saw something the other day. He's returning like 18 out of 22 starters if they wanted to. Like they basically put their whole 2 Final Four teams into the NFL. So everybody's coming back except for like 2 or 3 players. And if they get new linemen, I think like Texas would be a much better spot than, say, the Tennessee Titans for me.
I don't know. I think the burnout rate is really high now for college football coaches. I think that we're going to have unprecedented movement in the college football coaching ranks this year. After not many moves last year, I think this is clearly, we already have openings at Penn State. We have openings at LSU. There's openings at Florida, Arkansas, UCLA.
I would put up. I like curious a poll. If Steve Sarkisian is not at Texas next year, whose decision was it? Sharks or the schools? Because to me, I think it would quite obviously be the schools.
Yeah, not to me. 888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. All right, we're going to do something a little different right now because of some scheduling situations. It's Wednesday. Usually we do the great debate at 8 o'clock Eastern, but lucky y'all, you get it at 7.
The Great Debate Series.
All right, Pearl, I'm not sure who was the inspiration for this one this week.
EJ, you came up with this one. Was there someone you had in mind?
Was this loosely based on something, or we just had this one in the hopper for a little bit?
I've been thinking about it.
Think about it.
Yeah, I've been thinking about it for a while. Something
Okay.
fun. Thinking about the icons of sports, and this is where we landed.
Okay, so today's great debate, good enough for me. Today's great debate, we're asking who is the coolest athlete ever?
Simple.
Simple, but it depends how you define cool. It's kind of a know it when you see it. Pearl, you want to get us started?
Yeah, I mean, I think I was contractually obligated to pick this person. Quite obvious who the coolest athlete of all time is.
Most iconic. They always say, who's the GOAT? I don't think the GOAT is somebody that plays it, but they transition the game that everybody wanted to be like.
Mm-hmm.
Who is that? Dr.
J.
I want to be like Dr. J.
Mm-hmm.
Mike wanted to be like Dr.
Yep.
J. Everybody wanted to be like Julius.
Everybody wanted to be like Julius.
The pass is deflected, going to be stolen, I think, by the doctor. Yes, he's got it. Here he comes. Way rocked the baby to sleep and slam dunk.
Swung that baby way around. There was no chance for Cooper to get to that ball.
Yeah, for a long time, that was the most famous dunk maybe in NBA history. It was crazy. Dr. J, I think, is the coolest athlete of all time. I have a 2011 GQ magazine cover, the 25 coolest athletes of all time, and it is graced with one Julius Erving. It's like a 1970s Julius Erving. Oh, man, like those old school jerseys, awesome. I mean, I think to me, just the man was actually not a medical doctor. I don't know if you guys know that. You guys are young.
He could operate.
He was just so cool, they called him Dr. J. Julius Erving.
Yeah, I mean, and a prince of a guy. I got to meet him. He's handsome. He's a gentleman. All that stuff. Dr. J. Can't argue with it, but I think I have someone who can top it. I have somebody, we're talking about who is the coolest athlete of all time. Our great debate. I have somebody who is the face of an entire sport, is still the face of the entire sport, and this is one of the coolest things still that you can do. Skateboarding, and it's Tony Hawk.
What's Tony Hawk doing? He's doing things he's never done before. In Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3, he's gone insane. With 8 massive levels to let you trick off of everything. Choose from 13 top skaters, create a skater, even create your own skate park. Cool! Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3, rated E for everyone.
Oh, man, Pro Skater 3. Wow. Tony Hawk, the most famous skateboarder of all time, Pearl, and obviously, like, you know, we're not athletic enough to do a lot of things that athletes do, maybe everything, but there's no way any of us would. We could train our whole lives. We're never hitting a 900 on a skateboard, which Tony Hawk did. Manny, you're looking at me funny. Tony Hawk is the coolest athlete because he still has the reign over this whole entire singular sport. Skateboarding is still cool to me. I will always think it's cool.
Oh, of course. I mean, he's a big corporate. You're worried about that. It does a lot of commercials for a skateboarder.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, Dr. J never endorsed anything.
Well, I'm just saying.
Converse, baby.
There are some skateboarders who view him sideways because, you know, that's like a rebel sport and he's a big corporate, just saying. But he obviously is like the king of the sport. You name a non-super skateboard follow, name a skateboarder, they say Tony Hawk.
He's the coolest athlete ever.
Nyjah Houston is cooler than Tony Hawk.
I don't know who that is.
That is another skateboarder, and probably a better choice because he has tattoos and drip.
Yeah, I know.
Tony
That's
Hawk?
my thing. Tony Hawk's a middle-aged dad like me.
Not Tony Hawk right this second. Tony Hawk when he was at his peak.
A 30-year-old Tony Hawk was still not very... All right.
I'm not doing the math on my head, but are we getting a glimpse of your teenage bedroom or your college dorm with a Tony Hawk poster on the wall, Maggie?
Well, college, he was a little old there.
Okay.
No, this was like middle school.
Okay.
Middle school and high school. when
and you were wearing Vans and
hell
skateboarding?
Yeah. My Vans were green.
You used to shred, Gray?
I can skateboard.
You used to shred the concrete jungle of Binghamton, New York?
No, DC.
Oh, God.
With those feet? What kind of board were you on?
A surfboard.
A surfboard with wheels. Yeah.
A real long board.
Why do you think I can do it? I have good balance with those gigantic feet of mine. All right, go ahead, EJ.
All right, so great picks all around, but to me, I go with the guy that when I grew up, I saw kids wearing braids, kids rocking long sleeves on their arms that they cut out socks from. It is one Allen Iverson.
Trackmasters. Yo, check them out. It's the new A5s. You gotta rock them. They even put a zone in the league to try to stop him. He's the answer and the problem. You don't want it with the way that boy go to the hole and take punishment. The young boss of the cross for 4 quarters. And from 3-point land, he's all water. Matter of fact, call him the king. The way he breaks down the defense. It's like he got the ball on the string. And he will blow by you fast. Penetrate and dish it off or let it go high off the glass. Even on the court, we stay fly. Jada and AI. Make sure you go get the A5s. Even on the court, we stay fly. Jada and AI. Make sure you go get the A5s.
I mean, when I tell you a commercial had me in a chokehold, this is one of the most iconic commercials of all time. This is Jadakiss rapping, talking about Allen Iverson's game while Allen Iverson is doing his crossovers in the background. It's black and white. It is truly one of the most iconic commercials. I mean, the league, as Jadakiss mentioned, put in a zone because of him. They had to do a dress code because of him. I mean, he was a true trendsetter in a way that nobody else was before him. In fact, both Gilbert Arenas and Lou Williams said that compared to Kobe Bryant, Allen Iverson, way more buzz, way more attention if they went somewhere, whether it was an all-star game, at a lobby or a hotel. Said Kobe was famous, Allen Iverson, entirely different. Lou Williams said, I learned about groupies being a real thing, waiting in the hotel room, like hanging out with Allen Iverson. So that's my pick. I'm going with AI.
We're talking about practice.
All right.
We ain't talking about the game.
I think actually
we're talking about practice,
the
man.
answer to this is actually Jadakiss is probably the coolest person of all time.
Oh, he's the king.
But he's amazing. Okay, so we're asking, who is the coolest athlete ever? Manny, go.
I take you to a time long ago. Adam and Eve had actually just met, and he hadn't even had taken a bite of the apple yet. I take you to the early 90s. There's an individual with a rather cool nickname, and honestly, if you're going to be a cool athlete, you got to have a cool nickname, and this guy, he also had a lot of swagger. That cool guy with a cool nickname, Primetime.
And he throws, intercepted, is he inbounds, Dion, down the right side, yes, he's to the 50, they can't stop him, he can high step this one half the field, he waits to the 10 though, and walks into the end zone, does another dance, touchdown 49ers.
I think that one probably will be shown forever with him, high stepping, hand behind his back for about 96 yards, pointing at the Atlanta bench.
This is my house. I built this, and this is my house. I don't care if I'm with the Falcons or not. This is my house, and this will always be my house. Now let's continue.
I got Dion because, of course, you can see that interception, his swagger on the field, both in the way that he played and with the accessories. You take a listen at any of his interviews post-game. He had all the chains out, the sunglasses, the Jerry curl. Oh, man, that guy just ooze drip 90s fashion. Oh, he was really cool. I got Deion Sanders.
There you go. We're asking who is the coolest athlete of all time. It's our great debate. Bogues, you get the final word.
I wanted to be noted my objectivity here. I usually spend time dismissing, downgrading, mocking the Knicks. But when this topic came up, my very first thought was a Knick, one of the greatest players in franchise history, and was cool before Allen Iverson was even alive. Plus, he is still damn cool right now.
Tonight's Cadillac Trivia answer, Shaman had the big game, 36 points off the bench. Who holds the Knick record for most points off the bench in a game? Was it Harrington?
I'm going to go with you, Clyde.
Oh, Harrington. As Gus Johnson named him, Al Buckets. And that was before the cannabis, Mike.
Walt Clyde Frazier, Hall of Fame player, wearing God knows what earlier this week's on TV, making weed jokes.
What is going on?
About Al Harrington at 80. And we're buddies. You guys all can say whatever you did. Me and Clyde hang out now all the time on the sports memorabilia circuit. So this is a personal nomination by me.
He thinks he's your cab driver.
He does.
Wait, what do you mean you hang out on the sports memorabilia circuit?
Got to interview him, right?
Yeah, thanks for, once again, just meeting me today, Pearl. Walt Clyde Frazier. That's my pick.
You guys all know that bogus tours sports memorabilia with Walt Frazier? How come I've never heard this?
Yes.
You did about social media. Yeah.
Yeah, he posted about it.
Yeah, we talked about it one time on the show. The one
that's amazing.
Next to me.
I'm going to give Bogues a vote just for that.
No thanks.
You know what? I was once at a Knicks game when I was still allowed to go, and they showed Clyde Frazier on the Jumbotron, and he just went through his outfit from shoes to pants to jacket to the briefcase to the whole deal, and he got a standing ovation.
Take me to the garden.
Yeah.
888-710-4ISN. Coolest athlete ever. Can I just make an observation about our list? The most current athlete, probably Allen Iverson. I mean, Tony Hawk still does his thing.
Well, Primetime's a coach, maybe.
Yeah, but he's...
I told Manny to go with Yamal. How come you didn't take that advice?
Because he's still a baby. Like, he still needs to prove some things on the field that, for him to get that type of respect.
Braces. Can you be cool and have braces?
Yeah, he still has braces. Right
no.
now he is not playing with the team because of a pubic injury.
That's right. Which might make him cool.
Yeah, pubic injury.
How'd that happen?
Ask her.
Because he's the king. He's the Prince of Spain. That's how that happened right now.
Oh, what about...
He's got VD?
Yeah.
Is that the pubic injury?
I really hope not, but yeah, he's had this pubic problem for a few weeks now.
I don't think Alcaraz would have more of that in Spain. Right.
I think they both do. Wow. I didn't know that. Didn't hear that. That's a designation for soccer players? Pubic injury?
Yeah, pubis injury, yes.
Was that just a lost in translation thing? Like,
probably.
I really
pelvic?
don't know. Lesión de pubis. That's what we've got right now.
Maybe it's a pelvic injury. Nobody did Michael Jordan, by the way. That was one. How come none of us did MJ?
I don't know. Didn't pick MJ, didn't pick LeBron, didn't pick anyone current.
LeBron ain't cool.
I'm
cool
sure
with him.
LeBron's in the Tony Hawk category.
Hey.
Corporate.
How about Joe Burrow? No one picked Joe Montana?
Joe Burrow?
Joe Burrow.
I mean, is Joe Cool is his nickname?
They both do.
Right,
Yeah,
but Joe,
but, I mean,
he's like not as flashy as some of the like Dion or anything.
Well, I had to downgrade Joe Burrow because he's not buying the Batmobile.
I think Joe Burrow is...
His nickname might be Joe Cool, but have you seen the quarterback stock? That dude stinks. That dude's...
He plays the piano.
He wears backless tuxedos. That's cool, right?
You know who I actually saw? I pulled up this GQ list with Dr. J. Arnold Palmer should have gotten some love. That dude. And Joe Namath, we did talk about.
Yeah, Joe
Like
Namath.
the old school cool. If we were going... We should have gone old.
The drink guy?
Muhammad Ali was another one.
He laid a dart on the course all the time. He was amazing. You would love this guy. I'll show you some pictures, man. You'll be like, this guy was the best golfer in the world. He's the opposite of Scotty Scheffler.
Oh, okay.
Who no one picked? Well, Tiger is a little
Not cool.
complicated.
Tiger,
very
Tiger
nerdy.
doesn't have a cool bone in his body.
Well, I mean,
The one
he
thing
was out there.
Oh, come on. That guy is the biggest. If we're doing the biggest nerd in sports,
Maybe that'll
Tiger
be
wins
next
that
week's.
one. In a
I don't know. Maybe
landslide.
03 Tiger probably has some clout in this discussion, no?
No,
Because he's trying to compensate.
Pre-scandal. 888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. Easy question, not an easy answer. Who's the coolest athlete ever, and why are none of our choices within the last 30 years? Okay, lots more to do, including your phone calls. And Lane Kiffin, is he being overrated in this whole college football coaching showdown between LSU and Florida? What are they buying? What are they getting? It's the Maggie and Perloff Show.
What about Junior?
You're in a 5-minute break.
Gold chains on its feet. Tony's turn. Yeah. Down in Music City, there's a man named Jay. He's tuned in to Maggie and Perloff every single day. Life's been a battle, he's been losing for years, but now his motto's clear. No more losing tears. He's been down, he's been low, but now he's ready for a brand new show. Jay's got questions, can't let it slide. Who's running the YouTube on the Infinity side? Jay in Nashville calling out the crew. Who's behind the curtain? He demands the truth. Peter Bummelotti's ghosting, no work in sight. But Jay's got the Maggie and Perloff show to make it right. Make it right. Been a loser so long, my losing's all gone. Tapped out my bad luck, it's time to move on. From his couch in Nashville, he's solving the case. Infinity's mystery, he's all over the place. He's got theories, he's got plans. Is it Moose or Perloff behind the cams? And Bellotti, forget it, he's MIA. Jay's the one who's showing up today. Jay in Nashville calling out the crew. Who's behind the curtain? He demands the truth. Peter Bummelotti's ghosting, no work in sight. But Jay's got the Maggie and Perloff show to make it right. Make it right.
EJ's at the bar with a cold, cheap beer. Says Trae Young's no big deal, don't bring him here. But the Knicks lost again and it's starting to show as he punches the jukebox playing Old Town Road. I'm over Trae, he shouts as he tips his hat, but his phone's buzzing with Hawks game stats. Pickups parked outside, girls waiting to ride, but EJ's ranting about Trae instead of his bride. EJ don't care about Trae Young, no way, but he's crying in his beer when the Hawks outplay. Just a small town punk with a lucky streak, but Trae's living rent free every Knicks lost week. EJ's got a shotgun rack and a pickup truck. Trae can't break my spirit, I don't give a. He's got a girl on the side, but she's feeling ignored, cause EJ's busy yelling Trae can't score no more.
Well, the sun came up on a Thursday morning. The boys at the station felt a little torn. Infinity's gone like dust in the wind, and Peter Bellotti ain't been seen since then. They checked the studio, checked the hall, checked the break room near the coffee wall, but Pete's old chair just spins and squeaks, empty now, been empty for weeks. Because Bellotti rode off into that no-show sunset, a legend who no one's laid eyes on yet. Infinity's over, the sign came down, but Pete's new kingdom's the tennis courts now. He's beating Rube and Pierre every single damn day. He drops shots backhand, sending them away. Yeah, the station may change, but one truth remains: Bellotti ain't punching in ever again. Rube shows up with a brand new racket. Pierre's got headbands stuffed in his jacket. They stretch, they warm up, they pray, and they sweat. But Bellotti strolls in and hands them regret. He's got no job, got nowhere to be, no deadlines, meetings, or infinity. Just a can of balls and a wicked grin, cause he knows damn well he's gonna win again. Cause Bellotti rode off into that no-show sunset, a man with no task and no regrets. Infinity's done, but his forehand's alive, and Rube hasn't won since 2 counts or 5. He's Dustin Pierre with a serve so mean, it left him crying on court 13. Yeah, the studio's quiet, but the courts still ring. Bellotti ain't working another damn day.
Like, I don't know, they don't care about being cool as much. Like a lot of these like 18, 19-year-old kids right now, for some reason, it just seems like this. Maybe I'm missing it, but they don't seem as obsessed with style. It feels like NBA players get about 6 or 7 years of their NBA career, like Russell Westbrook, then they get into the style. So the young, like 19, 20, I don't see those guys in this conversation, but maybe I'm missing something.
See, I have a different take on this. We're doing coolest athlete of all time. It's our great debate, and we notice everyone on the show picks someone from like 30 years ago. We have no current athletes, and I think I know why. Have you guys watched a football game recently? I know you have.
Nope.
And every time that someone does something, they all do the same celebrations, basically.
Yeah.
Everyone does that Cam Ward thing. So maybe Cam's actually the coolest now. He's the trendsetter. Like, it's so copycat now that it's almost like who stands out? Like, they're all, I think it's because we're all on social media. We're all seeing the same things, copying the same things. It almost feels like who are the originals? Like, you have to be original to be cool.
I totally agree with that, but I also think there's another thing. I think everybody's so corporate now because you can start to get name, image, likeness is a fitting thing. You are starting to be marketable in 8th grade, so you have to play to the corporations. Like, you honestly can't do some of the things that you used to do. I mean, like,
I think there's exceptions. Like some guys seem kind of comfortable in their own skin.
I don't know. There isn't a single person in high school. You start to learn, hey, I got Procter & Gamble's my meal ticket here. I don't think that. Athletes getting paid at a young age, I think, affects everything. For example, you pick Tony Hawk. I mean, Tony Hawk has never seen a paycheck he wouldn't accept, and that's why I wouldn't put it. And I wouldn't put LeBron on there either. I think the more corporate you are, the harder it is to be cool. That's why Allen Iverson to me, I'm actually voting for him over Dr. J.
That's EJ's pick. Brian is in Idaho. Brian, who's the coolest athlete ever?
Hey, good morning. I would go ahead and tell you John Daly.
Let's talk about corporate.
He's an original gangster.
He is an OG.
Honorable mention. Honorable mention. Bartolo Colon.
Oh, big sexy.
Brian, do you mean current John Daly or old John Daly? Like, Bad Santa John Daly that we see now, or the old school, the 1992?
I mean, depends on your age, I would say, but I mean, I like them both. I think right now he was a legend on the course, and now he's making himself a legend on and off the course just through everyday living, normal guy.
Brian, I get it. There's a little tinge of sadness always.
No way. He lives in Happy Gilmore's garage. Happy Gilmore 2's garage. No, it's still Happy Gilmore.
He's the only person I've ever, I don't know John Daly, but I guess, came in contact with who's a legit chocolate addict.
Okay, so
that's his problem.
So that guy can drive a ball 200 yards, 300 yards, rip cigars, drink, and he also has a chocolate addiction?
Yeah,
wow,
big
this
time.
guy, I need to get his autobiography or something like that.
No, have you ever seen a bio of when he was winning? It's crazy. That dude partied like crazy. Just showed up at the
I mean,
course.
think about it. And Arnold Palmer,
7th wonder of the world,
is lemonade and iced tea, right?
Yeah.
And if you spike it with vodka,
it becomes
a John Daly. I mean, it's pretty.
That's amazing.
Challenge
I actually didn't know
accepted.
that.
You didn't know that?
No, that's great.
Steve's in Greenville, South Carolina. Steve, who's the coolest athlete ever?
Hey, good morning, and thanks for having me. I'm going to go with Joe DiMaggio. That's going way back, but he was incredible on the field, handsome, sharp-dressed off the field, hung with Marilyn Monroe, and I think we're still drinking Mr. Coffee.
Steve, it's a good one. I was thinking about Joe D. Obviously, the famous, the famous marriage to Marilyn Monroe that lasted less than a year, but he always put flowers at her grave, right? That was his thing. It was written into his will that someone would always put flowers at Marilyn's grave. I think he was probably better after they were married than he was during their marriage. But the thing that Joe DiMaggio is going for him is you didn't know a lot about athletes back then, right? It was a lot more curated than it is today, where everyone's got a podcast and we know all the stories. And
he said, I've heard this often. Joe D is a good-looking guy. I don't see it. Maggie, do you see it?
Oh, prime Joe D?
He's got so much riz. I mean, it didn't matter what you thought of him. Our good friend of the show, Dr. Positano, of course, best friends with Joe DiMaggio, wrote a book called Dinners with Joe. He's so classy and cool and did everything right. That
I'm not denying that. But
I know what you. I know.
I think Mickey Mantle was a little sloppier, and I think that Joe D was a little more buttoned
really, because
up.
Mickey Mantle, he was enormous. That dude was.
Well, Mickey Mantle's Oklahoma, but Mickey Mantle was definitely an alcoholic, and he was
no doubt.
a little bit.
It's the 1940s. You know what I mean?
I agree with Ben
a little
about
bit different.
Joe D is good looking, not because of his looks. Does that make any sense? He's just all character.
Also, Marilyn Monroe also married Arthur Miller. She clearly had taste in all different types of
Marilyn Monroe, she had issues too, if we're being frank.
Yeah, of course she did. But
good-looking chick though.
She preferred broad. One way to put it.
Oh, I'm not going back. I'm not going that
Marilyn
far.
Monroe. Wow, you guys have a way with words.
Why am I single?
I think there was a little mystery.
Rewind button on the Odyssey app.
to people who, back in the day, a little mystery that we don't have now that could make people a little bit cooler. Like, we do know LeBron's just like basically an NFL dad. Like, NFL watching middle-aged guy.
Maybe that's why we all went with previous generations.
Yeah.
But we should do coolest athletes under 25 as a sidebar, just to come up with somebody.
Angel Reese. 888-710-4ISN.
Big commercial for me.
Listen.
I mean, that's the thing. Everyone under 25 is so leveraged to the hill.
Someone who plays at the Cage on the West 4th Street.
I mean, Dr. J didn't have half these commercials.
Someone playing on
Because there were 4 TV channels and 3 magazines and no internet.
Well, that's kind of to Maggie's point. I think these people are a little overexposed. That, I think Maggie nailed it.
Let's get to Bogus Who's Got headlines for us.
These headlines sponsored by Skechers. Watch the Skechers World Champions Cup this December 4th, 5th, and 7th on ESPN and ABC. Another week of Ohio State, Indiana, and Texas A&M atop the CFP rankings, but we knew a change was coming after that since Alabama lost to Oklahoma Saturday, the Tide dropping those 6 spots from 4th to 10th. The Sooners going up 3 to number 8, while Georgia now gets that final first-round bye. Tulane is this week's group of 5 rep and would face number 5 Texas Tech in that opening round. Jamar Chase's 1-game suspension for spitting at Jalen Ramsey Sunday has been upheld, so Chase will miss Sunday's game with the Patriots and the $448,000 game check. As for Ramsey, who was thrown out for punching Chase on Sunday, Mike Tomlin was asked if he had a message for his player.
I have no message if someone spits in your face. Do what comes natural.
Which was punch him on Sunday.
Yeah, but it's totally cool. Just late hit one of the top receivers in the game about 5 minutes late, and that's not a problem. But
that's
spit.
football.
Well, it's the AFC North, Pearl. I mean,
quit
clutching your pearls.
I watched it again in second quarter, 9 minutes, 10 seconds left. He hit him so late. The officials are in
He's
a
got
coma.
a timestamp.
Yeah, because I couldn't. I was trying to get the clip and put it out on social media, but I couldn't quite figure it out. And also, you're not supposed to put NFL highlights out anymore. They're pretty mean about it.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's the dirtiest hit I've seen in the entire season. And Mike Tomlin's talking like he's on a soapbox. Give me a break. That is the funny thing. Like, anyway.
But you don't understand why someone would want to punch somebody if you got spit in the face, though?
Totally. I understand that.
No.
But Jamar Chase would have ripped off his helmet and punched Jalen Ramsey right there in the second quarter. Like, they wanted to fight the entire game. It wasn't the spitting is only part of the story. I was disappointed that the Bengals didn't fight the seal. Like, there should have been an outright brawl after that hit.
Yeah. That's how they should decide the division. Everybody just fighting each other.
Bengals are heartless.
That was called the early 2000s. Yeah, it was like that.
The current Bengals are totally heartless. I mean, they are not engaged at all.
No.
And Jamar Chase is this wonderful player who's stuck on this dud of a team. I get not spitting, but yeah. Also, Aldo, they're like, why is spitting all of a sudden like the worst thing that ever happened? People acting like Jalen Carter killed his
Perloff,
grandparents or
if
something.
I go ahead and go into that studio and just hock a loogie right into your glasses, you're not going to punch me in the face?
Probably, but did they have to suspend Jalen Carter for the whole game?
I don't know, Manny. That seemed like a dare. Probably.
Yeah, they had to suspend him for a game. Yeah, of course.
But it's okay to hit a defenseless receiver in the head?
No, but I think one seems to even tangentially part of the game, and the other is so outside of the game. But Pearl, keep going on this. This is your hill you're dying on, spitting on someone not that bad.
Well, I just think I'm like, oh, okay. I love the moral preaching by Mike Tomlin. Like, his team hasn't been dirty through the years. Give me a break. He had Hines Ward on his roster.
Oh, yeah, that guy was a headhunter.
Like, okay.
Do you think he's morally preaching by saying do whatever comes naturally to you?
Well, he's saying, like, the Bengals are dirty and whatever.
One other Steeler note, Tomlin confirming that the very uncool Aaron Rodgers does not need surgery for the broken bone in his left wrist. He could play Sunday against the Bears if they can protect that wrist without compromising Rodgers' ability to actually play quarterback. Let's check the San Antonio Spurs injury report now. Rookie Dylan Harper has been out with a calf strain. Wemby has the same thing and expected to miss multiple weeks. And now we're adding on Stephon Castle's strained hip flexor. But there still is De'Aaron Fox.
Nearly stripped of the ball. On the deck, Keldon Johnson picks it up. Hands to De'Aaron. And the exclamation point is the windmill jam from De'Aaron Fox.
Fox scoring 26 in the Spurs 111-101 win over the Grizzlies, who were missing an injured Ja Morant. And U.S. men's soccer destroyed Uruguay last night 5-1 in a friendly in Tampa. 4 of those goals coming in the first half. While that was happening, this was happening.
Bo gets the header out. Curaçao have done it. A blue wave is heading to the World Cup.
And the crowd goes
for the
wild.
first time in their history. Curaçao are World Cup bound. They will become the smallest nation ever.
Yes.
To take part in a men's World Cup.
All right, he got there. Were there 4 people in the stands? Where was everybody?
That I can't help you with. But again, this is a tiny island, if you are unaware, that's 40-ish miles north of Venezuela. It's part of the Netherlands. It has produced many baseball. You guys do, but there are people listening to the show. 158,000 people. That's it. That's like the block that we work on.
Listen, if you turn on a television between August 15th and September 1st, you know Curaçao because they're always in the Little League World Series doing work.
Yeah, people would defect there, right? From Cuba. I think that was...
No, I think that's too far. That's too far away.
That's too far. Probably Venezuela. Didn't you just say that it's a couple miles from Venezuela?
Yeah, it's like just off the tip of South America.
Those kids used to be ballers.
But also, Blue Curaçao is also the name of a...
Oh, delicious.
Yeah.
A liqueur.
A liqueur that you'll find. Blue Wave, it's a good call.
Haiti also qualified yesterday.
Congratulations to Curaçao for making their first ever World Cup. You guys ever had Blue Curaçao? Delicious.
I'm looking at pictures of Curaçao online. The beaches are beautiful.
Oh, wow, yeah.
I know someone who just went there on a vacation. Loved it.
Island in the Caribbean has beautiful beaches. Whoa, what a hot take.
Oh, come on, man.
EJ, if you're still looking for a honeymoon destination?
Curacao.
I mean, yeah, just add it to the list of 17 places we're still considering.
How about Jones Beach?
Pass on Jones Beach.
How about Rockaway Beach?
Definitely pass on Rockaway Beach.
Nobody comes to New York City on a honeymoon.
Gilgo Beach.
I mean, non-New Yorkers
Don't even
do.
say that. Stop.
Jesus. The shrapnel in the last 5 minutes, Curaçao getting dismissed for liquor. You're sending people into the murder capital of Long Island.
It's not romantic there.
Jeez.
What happened?
Come there. One of you will leave.
I don't know. Does Court TV still exist? Because we're all going to find out what happened in Gilgo Beach. So sad. 888-710-4ISN.
Don't look it up, America.
888-710-4476. Okay.
Come to Long Island.
Bogues, thank you so much. Coming up, we still have your nominees. Great debate today. Who is the coolest athlete ever? And I see some on the call screener that I never even occurred to me. So we'll get to that. Love you guys for that. Also, is Lane Kiffin being overvalued in this coaching search? It's M&P.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. 3 minutes remaining.
Well, the whole damn building shook like a bomb went off. Scared the pigeons so bad they flew clean to God. Infinity died with a splatter so hard it left a stain the janitors refused to guard. And Bilotti, that son of a bitch, was gone like a shot. Didn't even grab his coat, didn't think a single thought. They checked his desk, checked the stairs, checked behind the copier like he might be hiding there. But Pete skipped town like the feds were closing in. They'll master class and kiss my ass, I ain't clocking in. People whispered maybe corporate's cooking up tricks. Hell no, this thing blew up like a firecracker stuffed in a box of dicks. A hellfire splat, one big filthy crash. Infinity hit the pavement like a bag of wet trash. No miracle save, no executive deal, just a cosmic middle finger screaming, this shit is real. Lottie ghosted work like it owed him cash. And Daly's beating Rube so often it's basically slapstick trash. Infinity's dead, the road is clear. Daly owns the courts and Pete ain't fucking here. Rube shows up cocky like today's my day. Pierre warms up like he's headed to ballet. They grunt, they stretch, they talk their talk. Daly steps in and they both wanna walk. Daly fire serves like he's mad at the gods. Rube misses, swings like he's swatting at fog. Pierre hits the ball like he's stirring soup. Daly wipes the floor with that sorry truth. He's flat, the end came fast. Infinity flatline like a squirrel that couldn't outrun a car's ass. No rising from the ashes, no saving grace. Just Daly kicking their teeth and all over the place. Here's praying for mercy. Ruby's soul is wrecked. Daly sends them home like cut me a check. A Bilotti, a ghost, a legend, a myth. His PTO must be long enough to circle the earth. No shit.
Welcome back to Maggie and Perloff Show. Wednesday's great debate. We did a little early today. We're asking who's the coolest athlete ever. Said our pal Big Friendly in California. Friendly, who's the coolest athlete of all time?
Now, Maggie Malone, before I give you my athlete, I want to do a real quick honorable mention because I think the guy has some of the coolest ring entrances. Prince Hassim Ahmed, I think it was.
Yeah, Prince Nassim. I don't think he was a real Prince, though. I don't think he was a real Prince.
Maggie Malone. All I said is his entrances. I didn't say nothing else.
By the way, Friendly, thank you for the video yesterday. So Friendly sent us a photo, video, and you dancing in that video was something else. Kaplan's got it. Maybe he can throw it up. I'm not trying to catch anyone off guard. But those are some killer moves.
Hey, I had to break out the Carlton Banks from my man Daddy Cool. You know, only the best. But
I'm seeing it now. This is awesome. Yeah.
You're doing good, Carlton.
Now, Daddy Cool, I got something for you in a second. But Maggie Malone, the coolest athlete of all time, has to be the original Joe Cool. Joe, the man from the Jets. There was nobody cooler than him. He was the first football player, athlete to have his own talk show. Joe Namath on the sideline in that picture in the mink coat. There was nobody cooler than Joe Namath.
I'll agree with you. He also starred in a Broadway show. Did you know that, Pearl, about Joe Namath?
Yeah,
That's crazy.
The word, hence the name Broadway Joe.
Right. Is that where he got it from? It was on the cover of Sports Illustrated, right?
Yeah,
He's wearing like a pirate shirt.
He's standing in Times Square. Very, very cool. Yeah. Friendly, you're right. Joe Namath, the OG. We just find it funny that all of our choices are from 30, 40, in some cases 50 years ago.
I think the athletes today are cooler, like Shohei Ohtani, are cooler in a different way. These are athletes from the day that you wanted to see what they were wearing. You wanted to see what they were saying. You wanted to see where they were at. But Daddy Cool, you kind of broke my heart. And I think Mrs. Coolest Wife Ever deserves a picnic, my man. Don't sleep on the picnic. Don't sleep on the picnic. And you guys have a great day.
Friendly, thank you. It's Friendly doing the Carlton for us on the live stream, youtube.com/infinitysportsnet.
Wait, sorry. What does don't sleep on the picnic mean? That's like his dating advice is to go take a girl on a picnic.
Yeah, this is from yesterday.
I would never sleep on Big Friendly's dating advice. I told Manny he should follow that man into the bar. Like, Big Friendly is the only person I've heard in this show who's given Manny good advice. Your advice to go to the Knicks parade was the worst advice I've ever heard.
It was a watch party, yeah.
Yeah, that was
no parades yet.
Oh, God. I
Don't
yearn
toy
for
with
a
him.
parade. Imagine if I met the love of my life at the Knicks parade.
I don't the
Manny,
Knicks throw
you
a parade every time they beat the Hawks. There's a parade.
You could have met her at the watch party, but you couldn't get off your butt.
Got that right, sister.
Let's go to Cliff's in
My butt
Atlanta.
was comfy on that couch.
I thought about this one, Cliff. I think you're on the right track here. Who's the coolest athlete ever?
I think it's Derek Jeter, hands down. Yeah. I mean, his play on the field, his disposition off the field, always said the right thing. Parents always in the press box. And the people he dated, everybody wanted to date. And Derek never called attention to himself. He just let his work on the field speak for himself. Handsome guy. Just a class act all the way.
None of that is cool. Everything you just described is uncool.
No.
Having your parents in the stands and always say the right thing.
That's what makes it cool.
No, Allen Iverson is cool. Is the exact opposite of this.
Okay, I'm with Cliff on this one.
Oh,
Cliff,
I couldn't disagree more.
Okay, first of all, they got the 5 World Series rings, got the World Series MVP, but Derek Jeter's hit list here is pretty epic.
Oh, yeah, over 2,000 hits, 3,000 hits. I understand.
A home run on his 3,000th hit, just with an exclamation point, I think was the call. Laura Dutta, who I don't know, Adriana Lima, Jessica Biel, Jessica Alba, Tyra Banks, Gabrielle Union, Bridget Hall, Jordana Brewster, Scarlett Johansson, Vanessa Manillo at the time. She married Nick Lachey. Mariah Carey, Minka Kelly, and then marrying Hannah Davis.
Saludos, compañeros.
Yeah, but he's
no
not.
one ever knew about it. Like we knew.
But he's not
about
very fashionable or culturally cool in any way. Like you can't have Allen Iverson and Derek Jeter on the same list. They're almost diametrically opposed.
Well, he brought Jordan to baseball, so I mean that's pretty cool.
Yeah, he's got that Michigan connection with
Michigan.
Yeah.
He didn't convince him to play baseball.
No,
Jordan Brand.
The Jordan Brand.
Yeah,
which weirdly the Jordan Brand is North Carolina, but it's also Michigan.
But Derek Jeter is so uncool.
I disagree.
I mean, I feel like cool.
I just gave you a list of 20 women who would also disagree.
I think he's pretty cool just solely based on the women that he dated.
Yeah, but
and
I
the
mean,
woman that he's married to.
And he kept it under wrap. Like, listen, it was all over the newspaper page 6 gossip pages. But think about A-Rod and how sloppy that was, where A-Rod's getting caught, Madonna showing up to the games. Like, Jeter always seemed to keep it a little more on the DL.
Exactly.
He's a biracial angel.
He's classy. He always did the right thing.
Yeah, classy. That cool is classy.
I don't know. Like, I feel like most of the lists, you got to be kind of a rebel, like Joe Namath or Allen Iverson.
I don't know. I think Jeter's kind of got it all.
I get Derek Jeter.
He's the
I get
opposite.
where he's coming from.
The most unrebellious person, pretty much ever. I don't know.
But what about classy?
His father has a
classy.
doctorate.
Yeah,
Pearl has some respect.
He's classy. Oh, that's cool. Oh, look, his mom and dad are in the crowd. It's like, oh, that's nice. That's not
Dr.
like
Charles.
Cool.
It's cool to respect your parents, guys. Respect your parents.
It's not. That's the exact definition of what's uncool.
Oh man, wait until your daughters start disrespecting you.
Too late. Thank you, Perloff Show.
You're in a 5-minute break. 4 minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. Forty-five seconds remaining. Thirty seconds remaining. Fifteen seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Maggie and Perloff on the Infinity Sports Network.
We're mad today. Mad about the College Football Playoff Committee, mad about the rankings, mad about the inconsistencies, mad that we have to be locked in every Tuesday night to watch this farcical show where whoever has to stand up there. It was one guy last week. It's a new guy this week. They all say nonsense. And I never thought I'd find myself in this position, which is standing for Alabama. But I think they got absolutely hosed here, dropping 6 spots after a 2-point loss to Oklahoma. Craziness to me. And Notre Dame being ranked 9th has basically got all of our blood boiling today.
Well, no, I mean, I don't even think you have to watch anymore because there's just zero chance Notre Dame will not be in this playoff. So what's the drama? I mean, just figure out a way to get Notre Dame in and then let the rest figure itself out. And I'm sorry, that means Miami's out. It does not matter at all if Miami beat them. So head-to-head, useless. There's no reason to even do head-to-head.
It's crazy. And what Perloff said at the beginning of the show is true. You're not going to get teams scheduling good games in September. Like, that is so over. So basically, the NFL can just take over your television for the entire first month of the season, and you can tune in on college football in October.
Well, I mean, NFL will take over your television anyway.
You know what I mean.
But they are different days.
Meanwhile, for now, the NFL plays every day of the week. You don't think they're coming for Saturdays? They came for Christmas.
They don't compete, to be clear. They amplify. So the more people watch on Saturday, more people watch on Sunday, and vice versa. So but September's going to suck. You're absolutely right.
And it's the best month of the year, one of the best months of the year for sports. So that's a shame. Okay, so college football playoff rankings. We'll get back to those in a little bit because we got other gripes. Believe it or not. Our great debate today, which we do every Wednesday, who's the coolest athlete ever? All of our choices came from 30 years ago. Not sure why that is, although we thought of a new one that we had not mentioned yet. No one had Odell Beckham Jr., coolest athlete ever. Now, the end of the career pearl has gone a little sideways, but this is a good segue to bring in our guest for today, Matt Moscona, who covers everything LSU. Locked On Tigers podcast is an absolute must-listen. He's got all the good information about everything that's been happening with the football program over the last couple of weeks. Matt, thanks so much for the time. How are you?
Good morning. Thanks for having me back.
Okay, so we told you we'd be calling you soon. So we have someone up on the call screener, Pistol Pete Maravich, and I'll say versus Odell Beckham Jr. Who was the cooler LSU product? Or Joe Burrow, if you want to put Joe in there.
Well, if you were looking for someone more recent, Joey B., if you ever have an inkling, go look at the hat that Joe Burrow had in the postgame when LSU won the national championship. Suffice to say, I cannot say it here on live radio, but Joe had so much swag. But Pistol Pete, floppy socks, the hair. I mean, he invented the behind the back pass. Go listen to the old heads talk about what it was like playing against Pistol Pete. I mean, if there's one athlete that I never got to see my entire life, that if you told me I could go back in time, watch any athlete play, it would be Pistol Pete.
Well, LSU's got we also Shaq, Angel Reese. There's a lot of LSU. Is it the coolest college in the world?
The brand is pretty incredible right now, Perloff. I mean, remember Paul Skeens just won the Cy Young. He's dating Livy Dunn, who was the biggest name in NIL. I mean, no, LSU's brand in certainly the last decade and a half is absolutely incredible.
And no one's got more drip than Ed O. Get to some football here with Matt Moscona. Matt Moscona, excuse me. Locked On Tigers must listen. Okay,
Go Tigers!
So the last time we talked to you, Brian Kelly had been fired, but Scott Woodward, the athletic director, had not been fired yet. The governor of Louisiana basically wrote his pink slip in a press conference, and now you're looking for a new coach. Lane Kiffin's family reportedly was in Baton Rouge this week. But first off, Matt, how would you describe the vibes now around the football program?
It's settled since the last time we spoke. You got to keep in mind that was as tumultuous a week. This is my 19th season covering LSU football. That was as tumultuous a week as I can ever remember. And that's saying something for here because we're pretty good at messing things up down here. Starting with the very surprise firing of Brian Kelly and then the governor interjecting himself the way he did, and then the AD being out, and then an interim AD, and something I don't even know if we talked about at the time was there was an interim university president. So you basically had a leaderless army. There was no university president, no athletic director, no football coach. So it's hard to conduct a search for a football coach when you don't have any leadership in place. So that's settled a bit how it's all gone. The vibes right now, I think, are high if LSU lands Lane Kiffin. I think that has injected a lot of life into this fan base about the possibility of that happening, which you mentioned Lane's family. We reported that story Monday. It was Lane's wife, ex-wife Layla, Chris Kiffin's wife Angela, and two of Chris and Angela's children that flew to Baton Rouge Monday and were here for about 6 hours touring the city. So I don't think you put your family on a plane to go check out a city if you're just posturing. I think that interest is very real and sincere on both sides.
How would a competition between LSU and Florida look like? Would it come down to money or geography? Like, what do you think would ultimately happen between those two schools if they're both after Lane Kiffin?
Sure. So I think if it's Ole Miss, Florida, or LSU, money isn't going to be the deciding factor. That's to say, Lane is going to become the highest paid coach in college football, no matter which he chooses. And he has three really good options. He could stay at Ole Miss, or he could pick two really good SEC schools that are courting him. There's a report that Kirby Smart makes $13.3 million a year. He's the highest paid coach in the country. There's a report out there that Ole Miss has had an offer of $13.5 on the table for Lane. So I've been told LSU would go as high as 15, 16 if they needed to. So this just isn't going to be a thing where it's about price. There's been some talk about Layla Kiffin being a Florida alum. Her dad, John Reeves, played football at Florida. What I was told during her visit this week was that apparently isn't as big of a deal as some may think it is. I think it's more that Florida was in this sweepstakes earlier than LSU. So, over the last month, I think Lane's representation was pretty far down the road with Florida. And then the surprising part is the LSU fired Brian Kelly, which nobody saw coming. And then when LSU interjected themselves in this race, it gave Kiffin something more to think of. If you're just looking at success, NFL talent, only Power 5 in a talent-rich state, the fact that three coaches before Brian Kelly won national championships, and two of them were Ed Ogeron and Les Miles. I think Lane Kiffin realizes the resources at LSU are probably better than they are at Florida, but we're really splitting hairs here, guys. It's a matter of what does Lane want to do and where does he and his family want to be.
Matt Moscona is joining us. He's locked on LSU Tigers. It's must listen, does a fabulous job covering all things LSU. And you guys are kind of the center of the college football universe in some ways right now because this very high profile coaching search and this fight over Lane Kiffin. And Matt, just taking a step backwards for a second, you said the vibes are good. The Lane Kiffin thing has kind of injected a little life into what has been a tumultuous season. Are we overrating Lane Kiffin just a bit? I mean, he's coming off of 3 double-digit win seasons at Ole Miss, so I understand that. And Jackson Dart looks good, and Trinidad Shambles looks good. And I get why Lane is hot right now, but he's never won anything. I mean, to get paid more than Kirby Smart, I guess, timing is everything, but are we overvaluing Lane because these high-profile openings are looking to net a big fish?
Yeah, the money part of it, Maggie, is, I would think of it like resetting the quarterback market in the NFL. I mean, Patrick Mahomes should be the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. He's not because the market keeps getting reset. That's just the way contracts work, and it'll always work that way. And I'm sure if Lane becomes the highest paid coach, someone will have an accelerator clause in their contract where they'll make $1 more than Lane or something like that. But are we overrating Lane is a really good question. What I would say is it's a weird era because in this last 4 years, it has been transformative in college football. You have not only the advent of the portal 4 years ago, but how it has not only accelerated with collectives and now pivoted again to revenue share. So this has been the most and then also a 12-team playoff. This has been the most transformative 4-year block in the history of this sport. And he's navigated it. The only schools in the SEC over the last 4 years that have won more games than Ole Miss are Georgia and Alabama. And he has shown an ability to win in the toughest league in America consistently in this era, which is going to make him certainly attractive. And if the standard is winning championships, then the only coaches you'd hire are Dabo, Ryan Day, or Kirby Smart. I don't think any of them are available. So I think if you're LSU or Florida, you're trying to say, all right, how do we minimize risk if we're going to make this investment and not take a real big risk on a coordinator or a first-time head coach or a small school head coach? Look, Florida just hired Billy Napier. They went that route. It didn't work. LSU went for the big fish and Brian Kelly. That didn't work. So I guess it's sort of, mitigating risk, and Lane seems like less of a risk right now.
Matt, say it's not Lane Kiffin, and there's a bunch of other coaches. I'm also curious, too, it's a two-part question. Is the next year's quarterback in play with this decision as well? Because I know, for example, would Kenny Dillingham be in play because Sam Levitt is now reportedly going to be in the transfer portal? Is this all part of the stew of what people in LSU are thinking?
That's a great question. No, keep in mind, LSU's quarterback situation is a mess. I don't want to go too inside baseball here, but Garrett Nussmeier is graduating, and LSU had the number one player in the country committed for a year and a half last year, Bryce Underwood, who at the 11th hour got $12 million from Michigan in their collective and flipped. So LSU didn't sign a quarterback last year and doesn't have a quarterback committed for this year, and they're losing their senior quarterback. And another scholarship quarterback this week took a leave from the team and may not come back. So they need LSU will, whoever the coach is, will absolutely be signing one or two quarterbacks out of the transfer portal. So Kenny Dillingham, Sam Levitt package deal would be really attractive. So too would Lane Kiffin, Austin Simmons potentially. But make no mistake, whoever is the coach, they will be adding at least one or two quarterbacks this portal cycle. I don't know that necessarily is the difference maker in this decision, but Dillingham is a name that I've heard after Kiffin. What I have not been able to get, and hat tip to the folks around LSU that are making this decision, they have been really tight-lipped answering that very question. If not Kiffin, who's next? Because loose lips sink ships. And if you remember what happened 4 years ago, LSU and Southern Cal were both all in on Lincoln Riley. Lincoln Riley picked Southern Cal. Within 24 hours, LSU had Brian Kelly introduced. So they had their option B ready to roll. And my guess is the same thing is true this go-round. Is that Eli Drinkwitz at Missouri? Is it Kenny Dillingham at Arizona State? Is it John Summerall at Tulane? I think all of those are very real possibilities, but at this point, I don't know who that 1B is right now.
And it's interesting because we're talking with Matt Moscona from Locked On Tigers, great LSU pod for both football and for baseball, does it all. But here's the thing. So Lane's the big domino, right, Pearl, that has to fall here. Yep. James Franklin's already off the board, but it didn't seem like he was, I don't know, maybe in the mix for Auburn, something like that, but not for these two jobs. But once Lane signs somewhere or decides, then all the other dominoes can kind of fit into place. And Ole Miss just gave him, he's not calling it an ultimatum. Some people are calling it a deadline to have to tell Ole Miss whether or not he's coming back. They want to know that by Egg Bowl week. Two more quick ones for you, Matt. Is the confidence level high at LSU right now that you're going to get Lane Kiffin over Florida?
I think the feeling is that LSU has surpassed Florida if Lane leaves Ole Miss. I don't know that there is a tremendous amount of confidence that he's going to leave. Now, actions speak louder than words, and he has had a contract extension from Ole Miss on the table for as long. Look how quickly Kurt Cignetti at Indiana signed his extension, or Matt Rule at Nebraska, or Mike Elko this weekend at Texas A&M. If Lane Kiffin were interested and really were pot committed to Ole Miss, he would have signed that extension. It tells you his options are open. But I think his big conflict, Maggie, is he wants to coach his team in the playoff. If the calendar were different and he could make this decision after the playoff, I think there's no doubt he's leaving. But he has to decide, is he going to coach this team in the playoff or is he going to take one of these jobs? And I think that is what's really weighing on him. He wants to have his cake and eat it too. And Ole Miss is not going to let him coach in the playoff. And the point you just made is a really good one, because remember, with James, this is a new world in college football. James Franklin he's been fired and hired before the season's over.
Yeah.
It used to be the season ends, first week in November, coaches are fired, or first week of December, coaches are fired, then you go through the hiring cycle. Well, now coaches are getting fired earlier and hired earlier because of the earlier signing period and portal period. So Ole Miss, Maggie, I don't think Ole Miss is waiting until the Egg Bowl. We may not find out the answer, but just play this out. What if they're interested in John Summerall from Tulane? Well, there's a ton of smoke about John Summerall to Auburn. Well, if Ole Miss is going to be in the mix for a coach, they need to get into the hiring cycle, and they don't want to miss potentially the opportunity to hire the guy they covet because they're waiting and being dragged out by Lane Kiffin. So I don't know that this makes it to the Egg Bowl without at least Ole Miss having an answer from Lane Kiffin on what he's going to do.
All right, Matt, last question for me. Since you're an SEC school, SEC fan, what do you make of the committee kind of ignoring strength of schedule, in my opinion, in Maggie's opinion? If you could tell the schedule makers at LSU some advice. I feel like teams are going to avoid September matchups now because the committee just cannot wrap their head around strength of schedule.
How much time do we have?
30 seconds.
Y'all said there's no sense in watching the rankings anymore. I quit watching the playoff rankings show, that awful made-for-TV nonsense with a bunch of self-important goofballs in a hotel ballroom in suburban Dallas debating stupid things like defensive efficiency and game control. Don't care. Give me a real playoff with a power system that is seeded, that everyone knows the rules and the standards before the season starts. Those goons in Dallas do no good for college football.
Mic drop. Although I'm sorry, I have to ask you one last tiny question here. Matt, we've taken up a lot of your time, but thank you. So Brian Kelly, now the afterthought, I guess, from LSU, he's suing the school over this $53 million buyout. How ugly is this going to get between Brian Kelly and LSU?
I don't think it ever goes to court. I think LSU was trying to maybe play a game of high leverage chicken here, maybe threatening the possibility of a for-cause firing to eliminate that buyout, hoping to settle for a lesser number. And Kelly's representation said, okay, we'll call your bluff, and they filed a lawsuit. I don't think it ever gets to court. I think ultimately, especially if Brian Kelly wants to coach again, they'll settle.
Matt, can't tell you how much we appreciate your expertise here. Boots on the ground, everything LSU. Matt Moscona, gotta listen to Locked On Tigers. It's got it all. It's my must listen. I'm a subscriber. Thank you, Matt, for the time. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. Have a great day.
Okay. Lots more to do, including more reaction here to the question, are we overvaluing Lane Kiffin? Matt made a good point, though. He has shown he can navigate this era of college football well.
I mean, whoever comes in after Brian Kelly at LSU, that's a good spot. A lot better than coming in after James Franklin at Penn State. Just to have an authentic accent, and you're already one step ahead of the former coach, to be honest.
Great point. All right, Maggie Perloff Show.
All right, Maggie, it is the busy time of the sports year. We have so many sports going on, and the best way to enjoy it is Prize Picks. Right now, you keep the season rolling on Prize Picks by getting $50 bonus credit instantly in lineups when you play your first $5. It's so simple to use. Just pick 2 or more players across any sport. And we got so much going on now. NHL, NBA, soccer. You pick more or less on their projections. And if you're right, you could win big.
Okay, how about tonight? Can I interest you in a little Buffalo Bulls football action against the Miami of Ohio Redhawks, Pearl? How about Taquan Robertson, Buffalo's quarterback, 200.5 passing yards? I'm going to go.
Oh, it's Maction. Go more than. Come on.
All right. I'll take your advice this time. And then how about pairing this with a little Elijah Saunders? You know him from Maryland, Pearl. 20.5 points, rebounds, assists. Let's go more than as well. It's awesome. Prize Picks, we're obsessed. Come and see what we're talking about because it's so easy to play. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use the code M&P. Get $50 bonus credit instantly in lineups when you play $5. That's code M&P on Prize Picks. Get $50 bonus credit instantly in lineups when you play $5. So win or lose, you'll get $50 bonus credit in lineups just for playing. It's guaranteed. Prize Picks. It is good to be right. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
Mand P.
You're in a 4-minute break. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. 3 minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. "45 seconds remaining. "30 seconds remaining. "15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
It's not unusual to be loved by anyone. It's not unusual to have fun with
Welcome back,
anyone.
Maggie and Perloff Show. So it's Great Debate Wednesday. We went a little early this week, and we were doing the coolest athlete of all time. And right now, I checked out the poll. It's a two-man battle, old school. My choice of Dr. J versus EJ's choice of Walt Frazier. EJ, you had Walt Frazier, right?
No, bogus.
Bogus. Everyone was fighting over Walt Frazier. But Maggie, to your point, it doesn't seem like anybody cares about how old these athletes are because all the old school ones are doing well. We all kind of went old school, and everybody's getting pretty close in the poll.
Yeah,
Dr. J, everybody.
Speaking of cool, it's so funny because you played that Tom Jones, like It's Not Unusual. I feel like some of the athletes on our list, like that was the hit song from the time when they were in their prime. We're talking about cool athletes. And who's the coolest ever?
I was omitted from the poll, by the way, which is egregious work by our EP.
Listen, man, not everybody can be on the poll.
Yeah, I know which spot you could have eliminated.
Who's that?
The skateboarding guy.
I always put Maggie and Perloff in the poll.
Wait, yeah, Manny, who was your choice again?
Primetime.
Dion.
Oh, yeah.
Dion. Come on, Perloff, off the cup, real quick. Look at me. Who's cooler, Primetime or Tony Hawk? Who's cooler?
I'm not a Tony Hawk.
All right, cool. So it's Primetime. So I win. I should have been on the poll.
Primetime with the glass. The thing that Primetime has is the glasses and the chain. That's a good visual for this poll.
Okay, how about this? Hold on. I'm not going to do Tony Hawk versus Primetime. I'm just going to ask you this. Is skateboarding cool, yes or no?
No.
Yes.
Skateboarding is definitely cool. Is Tony Hawk considered a cool skateboarder?
Yes.
Does he have a cool video game? Does Dion have a video game?
You know what? I'm going to change primetime. I'm going to go with Bob Burnquist. That's what I'm going to do.
Yeah, did you guys ever watch it? There was a couple big skateboarding movies, and they were very clear about how they felt about Tony Hawk.
Well, I don't care about that. I know. I watched, what is it, CKY?
Lords of Dogtown and
all the Camp Killer stuff. I watched those two. Tony Hawk is the face of a sport. I don't care what the jackass.
But I feel like skateboarders, like, you should go to jail a couple times. You know, you should be a badass, right? Like, it's a rebel sport. And Tony Hawk is incredible to watch, but he's kind of not exactly a rebel. But as far as athletes, watch somebody do something cool. Tony Hawk. I mean, nothing is cooler than some of those moves. That was unbelievable. Shaun White, I think you could argue, in the same vein, too.
So I think it's funny that Allen Iverson is losing this poll because he is a cultural icon. So I'm a little surprised by that. Meanwhile, keep him coming. Who is the coolest athlete ever? Joe's in San Francisco. Joe, what do you have?
Ozzie Smith.
Yep.
Old school.
Joe,
kids don't understand how good Ozzie Smith was. They have no idea.
Man, Ozzie Smith was the best shortstop I seen. Ozzie Smith had a swimming pool in his house the shape of a baseball glove.
Joe,
I'd never seen him when he was shy. Every time I seen him off the field, Ozzie Smith was a guy.
I agree with you. Listen, Ozzie Smith, very cool. Joe, thank you for that. I'm just thinking about San Francisco, kind of Bay Area athletes who are cool. I mean, Willie Mays is like an icon. Steph Curry, no one picks Steph.
He's not that cool.
God. No. If we're doing the uncoolest athletes, Steph is
why? Because of the shoes?
Everything. What is cool about Steph Curry?
He has a family. That's not cool.
Yeah. No, he's a family man. Yeah.
Not cool.
He's got a family.
He has one of the
That's
worst,
not cool.
He had one of the worst shoe lines for any signature athlete.
Yeah.
He just ditched.
I mean, married his high school sweetheart. Not cool.
No. In a league of cool people, Steph Curry is at the back of the line. I love him. I'm a huge fan. Don't get me wrong.
Can I bring up another person, not Bay Area, but another person who has not sniffed the list yet?
Ayesha Curry.
Wilt Chamberlain?
Oh,
no, the 7-footer is not cool. I mean, he has to be really cool.
25,000 women would beg to differ.
But by the way, the ability to get action does not define cool. I think you're going by the most notches on the belt.
Well, what did we just say? No, who said before? I didn't even know what groupies existed.
Oh yeah, it was Lou Williams.
Lou Williams saying that about Allen Iverson, right? And like, I do think being good with women, does add to the cool factor.
But like rich guys marry a lot of women, and they're not cool.
Lou Williams had 2 girlfriends at the same time. #cool.
Well, Lou's probably pretty cool. Left the bubble to go to.
He's booming out of South Gwinnett. You know what I mean?
he left the bubble to go to the
Magic City.
Yeah, Magic City in Atlanta.
I think it should be really who is the most fashionable athlete. Like I keep coming back to fashion.
But that could be a stylist.
And Allen Iverson, people.
Yeah, no, because I feel like Allen Iverson was so authentic to himself. He didn't need a stylist. He was just AI.
Okay, so Iverson, Dion, like these guys may have had their own style, but I think athletes today, I think it's a stylist picking out. I think Russell Westbrook, even Westbrook, who's like the fashionista guy, I think he gets help.
Yeah, well, that's maybe why we went with the originals.
Yeah.
Joe
Namath with the fur coat.
Oh, yeah. I mean, 70s styles. Dr. J, there's a picture of him wearing a white suit outside the Great Western Forum. Unbeaten. The 70s were basically, we've been copying 70s fashions for years.
So Walt Clyde Frazier got the nickname Clyde because of the movie Bonnie and Clyde, no? Yes, right. And
really? Actually, I had no idea.
Yeah. And so he was kind of...
Oh, because he wore that hat?
Yeah, Clyde is so original, though. Since then, he's come up with he must have 10,000 suits.
Yeah, I didn't. Isn't there a picture of him in sort of like a fur outfit too that was really famous?
Cow print.
Who needs 25,000 women when you have 10,000 suits?
What would you rather have? Poll question.
10,000
Have slept with 25,000 women or own 10,000 suits?
Have 10,000 suits easily.
I think we should
all. Suits are a little safer.
As an exercise, we should all come up with our uncoolest big time athlete.
The flip.
The flip, just one. And this is obviously very subjective.
Tim Duncan.
Yeah, I think EJ just won.
Wait, who?
Tim Duncan.
EJ's a winner.
Oh, I don't know, dude. He is.
And we wrap up that
He's partaking in new Tim Duncan with the dreadlocks, and I feel like Tim Duncan's been partying a little bit. Isn't he like Mr.
Who's following new Tim Duncan?
Tim Duncan.
Joey Crawford.
Tim Duncan's in the Islands. But Tim, yeah, okay, that's a good one.
Still teeing him up.
Yeah. The big fundamental.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, you want to talk about bad fits. Go look at his fits from like 2000 to 2007. It is egregious.
I think you have to have somebody who's trying to be cool, though.
Man had Birkenstocks on with jean shorts. Give me a break.
What's that say? Who's the guy who was wearing my wardrobe?
Jared Allen.
Jared Allen.
Yeah, that dude's very uncool.
Jared Allen and Perloff were literally a who wore best. It was the exact same outfits side by side, down to the shoes.
Side note, favorite quote, lights were too bright. One of my favorite graphics on social media.
Oh, his first playoff appearance with the Cavs, right?
Yeah, against the Knicks. And that famous graphic, the lights were too bright. And now they use it for anything when someone fails in the clutch or shrinks under pressure.
I got another really cool athlete. Really cool. Joakim Noah. Or maybe Yannick Noah, his dad, is kind of the OG. Married Miss Universe.
Yeah.
Both of them are cool.
You like it? You think Cleveland's cool? I mean, I never heard anybody say, I'm going to Cleveland on vacation.
Mm-hmm. Was Agassi cool? Agassi was cool.
Agassi was very cool.
The only thing about Joakim Noah is that like his game wasn't cool. He had a really funky jump shot.
It's all factories.
But like you got to play cool, and he was kind of a dirty, like a dirty work guy.
Yeah, he was a great guy.
Yeah,
Bjorn Borg's on all these lists. He's like top 5 in every list.
What's so good about
Bjorn Borg? He's the fashionista tennis superstar.
I'm waiting to hear Dennis Rodman.
Dennis is complicated.
No, but the Worm. I mean, Carmen Electra. I mean, come on.
Oh, Madonna.
Yeah.
But then he got weird.
The weird's what made it cool. This guy was leaving NBA Finals games to wrestle and be with the NWO.
Vegas?
Yeah, to go hang out with the NWO. This guy was the man.
Cool,
Maybe it was
but
the North Korea
he's so
stuff.
unusual though. It's such an oddball.
I'm not thinking about North Korea stuff. I'm thinking about prime Dennis Rodman.
Yeah, cool was not the word. Crazy is the word I think you're looking for.
We're asking for who's the coolest athlete ever. It's our great debate today. We didn't get into wrestlers. We had some phone calls about wrestlers. Stone Cold Steve Austin was one. Ric Flair was another.
I got to walk away from this conversation.
The Rock? Do we think The Rock is cool?
As an actor or a wrestler?
The Rock, the wrestler, was really cool. The Rock now,
Jumanji
Rock? Kind of Pearl's point, a little corporate.
You don't like Jumanji Rock?
No.
Listen, guys, everyone needs a paycheck. Like, sheesh.
You don't like Jumanji?
No, he said Jumanji Rock.
Yeah, Jumanji Rock. That's The Rock's best acting role by far. He's amazing in Jumanji.
I'm not talking about his role. I'm talking about like him as being a cool person.
Yeah, he's not playing John Wick. He's playing Jumanji or whatever.
That is a top 10 of all time movie. That Jumanji? The Rock and Kevin Hart. The Rock and Kevin Hart together. As a parent.
By the way, I never want to hear anything about me liking Caddyshack 2 ever again. If he just said Jumanji's a top 10 movie. I never said Caddyshack 2 was a top 10 movie. I just like it.
Has
Wait,
anyone
Robin
here
Williams
seen
was in
Jumanji?
Jumanji?
What?
Robin Williams was in the remake of Jumanji?
Yes, young Manny.
The Rock is
not
gonna
the
lay the smack it down on your candy ass.
The Rock and Kevin Hart and Jumanji, I know they did about 40 movies together. It is amazing. They're like Laurel and Hardy.
Can't get more corporate than Kevin Hart and The Rock. Literally, like.
They're unbelievable. It's such a funny movie, though.
But meanwhile, Perloff is killing my choice of Tony Hawk because he sold out.
The Rock and Kevin Hart, coolest people, brought to you by Capital One.
Wow. But let's not say anything bad about Jumanji, though. That's on like Mount Rushmore for me. I've seen it 100 times. Jumanji 2, just as good. Danny DeVito is in that bad boy.
So you're telling me that the 2010s version of Jumanji is better than the one from the 1990s?
Oh, that one was pretty bad, yeah.
What? You got to be kidding me.
Robin
Williams?
Robin Williams.
That's terrible. It's on it. Yeah, that was not well thought of.
All right, wait. We're losing the plot now, guys. We're talking about who is the coolest athlete of all time.
Robin Williams.
It's not The Rock.
And then we got into athletes, wrestlers, and all of that. Now we're talking about Jumanji. Keep them coming. 888-710-4ISN. You can go vote at Maggie and Pearl on X. Bogues, headlines. What do you got?
Yeah, headlines sponsored by Skechers. Don't forget, watch the Skechers World Champions Cup this December 4th, 5th, and 7th on ESPN and ABC. Do whatever you want on December 6th. Georgia replacing Alabama in the 4th spot of the new CFP rankings after the Tide lost to Oklahoma Saturday. Alabama falling all the way to number 10, while those Sooners are now number 8. BYU and Utah in the top 12, but not the bracket, bumped out by a group of 5 rep Tulane. And Miami, the highest ranked ACC team this week.
Go Green Wave.
A year ago, Arizona State won the Big 12 and then pushed Texas to overtime in their CFP quarterfinal. This year, the Sun Devils already have 3 losses, and QB Sam Levitt is done for the year with a nagging foot issue. There are now reports that Levitt is leaning towards the transfer portal, already getting multi-million-dollar wink-wink, nod-nods from some major programs. But his dad and his brother, who represent him, are denying those rumors. LeBron James made his season debut last night, becoming the first player ever to reach 23 NBA seasons, 11 points, 12 assists in 30 minutes in the Lakers' 140-126 home win over the Jazz.
I've never missed the beginning of a basketball season. And so, just going through that, physically, emotionally, spiritually, and everything, just tested me, and just keeping my head down, with the work, and then keeping my head up with faith. It's gotten me to this point today.
Real touch and go there. It's sciatica.
But really, spiritually?
Like I said, it was real touch and go there.
Amen.
Okay.
LeBron watched Luka post 37 points and 10 helpers in this game. The Pistons won again last night, 120-112 in Atlanta. That's 11 straight, 13-2 overall. Their best start since 2005. And the Celtics somehow figured out how to win in Brooklyn.
Derek White, shuttle pass. Hauser steps to his left, launches 3. Got it!
One time, big guy. One time, play defense, hit one, going back the other way. Nicely done.
Cedric Maxwell, Sean Grande, Celtics Radio. Boston, a 113-99 decision over the Nets, who, by the way, are now 0-7 at home this season. Boston's won 3 straight, which has them over 500 for the first time this season at 8-7. Staying in NYC, Champions Classic at the Garden last night. Number 12, Kentucky, took an 83-66 beating from number 17, Michigan State. The Wildcats have now dropped 2 of their last 3. They've lost 8 of their last 11 against ranked opponents. Head coach Mark Pope getting deep postgame.
We won't fail this season. We just have failed up till today. And we will build an organization where it won't be disrupted every time someone steps in and steps out, because we'll have a team identity, not an individual identity. Until we get there, we're going to really struggle. That's my job. That's why Mitch brought me here. I'm doing it poorly, and we won't do it poorly for much longer.
Yikes. And then, speaking of going through it.
Yeah.
They looked awful last night, to be fair.
Well, they got blown out.
Yeah, I bet the score almost wasn't indicative of just how outclassed they were.
Yeah, they were, 17 down at halftime?
Yeah, at one point they were down like plus 20. It was like they were just getting out-hustled. Guys were wide open, mental mistakes. I was surprised Mark Pope's team looked that bad.
Did it matter that Arkansas almost lost to Winthrop? Does that make everyone feel a little better that John Calipari almost lost?
It definitely will for Big Blue Nation.
In the nightcap at MSG, Cameron Boozer accidentally put up 18 points and 10 boards as 9th-ranked Duke beat number 24 Kansas 78-66. A baseball trade last night. The Angels sending outfielder Taylor Ward to Baltimore for righty starter Grayson Rodriguez. Ward's 61 homers over the last 2 seasons. And Connor Bedard, not the only young NHL star, with a hat trick last night.
And slide to Celebrini on the right circle. Moves back to the right point. Now Celebrini shoots. Score! Macklin Celebrini just completes the hat trick, and the Sharks win in overtime 3-2.
Dan Ruzanowski, Sharks Radio. Macklin Celebrini, all the goals in a 3-2 OT win over the Mammoth. Does Pearl remember who Macklin Celebrini's dad is?
I do. It's going to become one of those things they're going to mention on the broadcast, like Jake Ferguson's grandfather's Barry Alvarez. Like, we can't go 5 minutes without them.
Perloff,
Really?
any idea?
Nope.
Macklin Celebrini? No?
Brian Scalabrine?
Close enough. Did not make our coolest. Did not make our coolest athletes of all time list. The White Mamba. His father is the trainer for the Warriors, right?
Yeah, and we definitely had like a no way moment. You were deep into it. You were
That's
impressed.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, you liked the story like 8 months ago. Now, not so much. But anyway, all right. So the great debate today, thank you, Bogue, is who is the coolest athlete of all time? Just really fast. I thought there was going to be a homicide on the court last night in L.A., not to make light of this, but when Austin Reeves attempted to throw an alley-oop for Luka Doncic, first of all, No.
High flyer, Luka Doncic.
Secondly, Keontae George came and broke it up because there's no way that Luka Doncic is getting up for an alley-oop like that on a fast break. And Luka fell into him, and it looked like his knee got displaced for about 30 seconds, and everyone was holding their breath in L.A., and he walked it off. And I thought Austin Reeves was going to be in a body bag somewhere in the valley.
Wait, can skinny Luka dunk now? I actually have
Not on a fast break with an alley-oop like that. I don't think.
Yeah, throwing an alley to Luka is ridiculous.
I could just maybe lay it in.
No, I don't think that was going to be possible because it was actually the defender was there.
Okay.
Yeah. No? Okay. And also, speaking of LA, the Olympics, Pearl, we saw that LeBron James has said he's not going to play LA 2028.
Thank God.
I wonder if he's going to be the torchbearer, though.
That makes sense. Well, Shohei? No, Shohei's not American. I forgot. Who's the biggest athlete in LA? Stafford?
And our greatest homegrown athlete, Shohei Ohtani, and his translator.
But why with LeBron, though? Because he's not from LA. He's from Cleveland.
Yeah.
And
Is it Magic?
He's not on the Mount Rushmore Lakers. So if he's 2 or 3 years retired, are you sure?
How about Kendrick Lamar?
Probably would be him anyway.
What about Magic Johnson? Maybe Magic.
Magic. That's a good
Magic
one. That's a good one.
Sandy Koufax, is he
Koufax?
too old?
I was going to say Kershaw.
Can you do some of it maybe?
It is a little bit of a handoff thing, right?
Yeah, they do handoffs.
No, but the
they'll get him all
final one,
involved.
like Muhammad Ali in Atlanta.
I think LeBron is a very logical, but Magic and LeBron, I can't think of anything better.
Well,
I mean,
for
Kareem.
Kobe was still with us.
Well,
Kareem.
Serena and Venus, too.
Oh, Serena and Venus. Serena.
You guys bring up baseball players. Is baseball back in the Olympics for 26?
I don't know. We're just talking about famous
28, excuse me. Yeah.
Famous
I think it
LA
might be.
athletes.
Oh, okay.
By the way, talk about LA figures. It won't be Snoop Dogg because I don't think those lungs can handle the run.
Well, he won't run, but he's the face of NBC's Olympic
Yeah,
coverage.
he'll be doing all the coverage, but he won't be running.
It's going to be Magic holding the torch.
What's better than
and
light the
Snoop
torch?
Dogg behind him.
Yeah, the actual
Snoop
torch.
lights a joint off it. Sorry, blunt, whatever.
He definitely will.
Rips a bong off of the Olympic torch.
Magic, slow down.
Back to you, Mike Tirico.
That's a good poll. Magic, Kareem, LeBron,
Serena.
You want to do that
gosh.
now or like hold it till closer to 2028?
Now we got time.
Actually, it's probably more interesting now.
We have a whole winter
Put
Olympics.
Shohei in there. Why not? Put Ipe in there.
Ipe will definitely vote and gamble on the poll. Okay, 888-710-4ISN. The coolest athlete of all time. That's the great debate today. No one said Magic, by the way. Certainly applies.
That was me my plan B because if I felt like EJ, I was stealing Clyde from EJ, so I offered to have Magic. I mean, his name is Magic.
I mean, the one thing that made me not pick Magic was the way that he quit the Lakers was so...
Oh, I thought it was going to be the Twitter post.
No, I love those.
Yeah,
But they ain't cool.
AP Wire, Magic
Yeah.
Johnson.
AP Wire, that's not cool.
Listen,
That's-
they say journalism dead. No way. Check out Magic's Twitter feed. It's all facts there. 888-710-4ISN. Okay, lots more to do, including we have some quarterback injury news for you. It's MMP.
You're in a
The sun came up with a crack like a shotgun blast. Infinity collapsed and Pete Bellotta moved fast. Not to help, not to fix, not to lend a hand, but to sprint the fuck away from that entire brand. They checked his desk, found dust and a pen, a sad little note from like 2 months back when. They checked the hallway, checked the cramped supply space, but Bellotti had pulled a god-level vanishing grace. He didn't call in sick, didn't say he was late, just note the hell out like punching in. I'll pass, mate, the man didn't dip. He straight up fled, left work behind like it owed him back rent and bread. And folks whispered, "Is Pete on PTO or pulling some tricks?" Hell no, he rocket launched out of here like fireworks shoved in a box of dicks. Goddamn, no show, legend the king. Bellotti don't work for a motherfucking thing. Infinity crumbled, the whole place shook, but Pete was already gone. coast is clear. Bilotti ain't worked once this entire damn year. HR called twice like a speed on the clock. Buddy Pete was already home in a bathrobe and Crocs. They texted, they emailed, they begged him to show, but Pete treats work like a place he refuses to go. He missed every meeting, every memo, every call. Ducked out so hard he became a workplace folklore wall. While printers jammed and morale got wrecked, Pete was off somewhere saying y'all can get fucked respectfully next. He didn't quit, didn't retire, didn't even pretend. Just disappeared from duty like time itself would bend. He is the Houdini of paid employment, the Picasso of nah, this ain't my enjoyment. Goddamn no show, the runaway star. Bilotti hasn't worked since they opened the bar. Infinity flatline like a drunk on the street. And Pete wasn't ever, cause he never treats work as a feat. Daily smash and rue, but none of that matters. Bilotti's absence is what truly shatters Infinity's toast. The message is clear, Pete ain't showing up now, tomorrow, or this year. Some chase titles, some chase checks. Pete chases freedom and breaks all the specs. He saw responsibility and ran like hell. Left nothing behind but a half-eaten granola shell. Goddamn no show, the all-time champ. Pete Bilotti's missing from every work camp. Infinity died, the whole town shook, but Pete already closed his employment book. He's a myth, the ghost, the patron saint of note, the workplace prophet of abandoned hope. Raise your glass high and holler with cheer, cause Pete ain't showing up for work and he went Ray's gone. He ain't coming, he don't clock in, he don't do nothing.
45 seconds remaining. $30 remaining. $15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Welcome back. Maggie and Perloff show. It's Wednesday, which means we do the great debate. Today we're asking who's the coolest athlete ever. All of our picks are from 30 years ago or more. We have nobody current. No Joe Burrows didn't make the list. Odell Beckham Jr. didn't make the list. Pearl, Shohei Ohtani.
Jackson Dart.
Yeah, Dart and Scattaboo, I feel like, are just kind of a package deal now.
Scattaboo. I don't know if he's cool. He's just a head case.
Yeah. Let's go to Louis. He's in Oklahoma. Good morning, Louis. Who's the coolest athlete ever?
Hey, has anybody mentioned MJ, Michael Jordan? How can he not be on there?
Yeah. We all thought about it.
I don't know why I didn't go with MJ. I'm not sure. It has nothing to do with MJ LeBron stuff. MJ is objectively cool.
Yeah, but no, he was never described as cool necessarily because he was sort of in like that GOAT, you know, like the greatest.
It's like Tom Brady. No one's called about Brady.
Well, Brady.
I do not have a problem. I enjoy gambling.
Brady, though, is married to a supermodel. I mean, there are some other very cool things about Brady.
Well, I remember Brady was on that GQ list of coolest athletes. I actually remember this, and everyone's like, what? He is the uncoolest guy. In 2011, like, that dude is not cool.
Remember he was dancing at like Rio at the
Carnival. Is that what killed him?
Oh my God,
I love Brady, but there's not a cool bone in that guy's body.
I don't know about that, but the other part, think about it though, Louis. We didn't pick. We have not gotten MJ on this list. Brady's not on the list. No one said Gretzky. Like some of the greatest ever. Thank you for the phone call. No one even said Joe Montana on this list.
Joe Montana's not cool either. I don't think. I know Joe Cool has nothing to refer to what we're talking, but that just means he's
cool
calm
under pressure.
Yeah, like Eli Manning in the fourth quarter, and Eli ain't making this list.
Quarter zips, no way.
One guy who's a goat.
Gretzky, I mean,
nah, I don't know. But one guy who is the greatest and also cool is Muhammad Ali. Obviously,
yes.
He's too big. He's too cool.
I've always said meeting Muhammad Ali that one time was like meeting a head of state. I can't even say it was cool. It was something. It was on a different level.
Exactly,
than
like
that.
it's a higher level than cool.
You met Cassius Clay?
I did.
Wow.
Yep. How about Joel is in San Jose? I'd not thought of this guy yet. Go ahead, Joel. Who's the coolest athlete ever?
Hey, morning, guys. Definitely you guys forgot one of the biggest sports in the world. Football, English phenom, David Beckham. This guy checks all the boxes for being cool and just an overall great athlete and businessman.
That's Sir David Beckham.
I know. Joel,
that is Sir David Beckham. He is knighted. He got knighted. That's insane.
I kind of get the feel. Oh, sorry, Joel. I didn't mean to hang up on you. Great call. I kind of get the feeling that every famous person gets knighted over there. They're handing those things out.
It's like the Pro Basketball Hall of Fame. Like anyone gets in.
Yes. We don't know what the criteria is. Everyone gets in. We don't know who the voters are.
I'll be honest. First of all, I'm not someone to push just any other thing, but that Beckham documentary is excellent on Netflix. The whole courting of Victoria Beckham actually made him a little more uncool to me.
Yeah.
Because he loves
was
her.
a lover boy.
Yeah,
and
he's
by the way, still.
I mean, he nabbed a Spice Girl. It's a big deal.
Yeah, but you think, you nab a Spice Girl, like that's a guy who's like, I got swag or whatever. Like he's kind of like playing off as cool. He was not cool. This guy was driving 6 hours from Manchester to London to see her every weekend.
But
I mean,
he did this thing where he shaved his head. And
crazy.
changed the entire fashion of the world, and his coach almost like benched him. He was so mad. You got to be rebellious. That's the thing. He was a total rebel early on.
Another Sir, by the way, Sir Alex Ferguson.
Yeah.
I'm telling you guys, this is not that hard. I think the knighting is like
Sir Paul McCartney.
Yeah,
it's like key to the
high.
city. You're famous. They're giving it to you.
Beckham's pretty high on the list in England. I don't know. We were talking about who lit the torch for who will light the torch in L.A. Beckham was like a big part of the London Olympics. Like he is Mr. England, right?
I know. Well, he probably deserves to be considered on this list. Coolest athletes ever.
Wayne Rooney, not cool.
I think Zlatan is cooler than him. Ibrahimovic.
Zlatan is so cool. He doesn't
Underrated
even
guy
qualify.
because his prime was a little short, but definitely really cool in his prime was Ronaldinho.
Oh, heck yeah.
Him in
I mean,
terms of
first
how
of all,
cool
we
he
show
was.
the
Whole reason why I watch Barcelona.
We should take all soccer players out because they're very fashionable.
I mean, Cristiano Ronaldo nowadays, Lionel Messi. I mean, even though they're 70 years old now and still kicking the ball around, they're still pretty damn cool to me.
Is Mo Salah cool?
That's a question that's a question for Stu. For Stu Kovacs.
Yeah.
I don't think he's cool.
Thierry Henry is cool.
Thierry Henry is very cool.
Oh, yeah.
TT Henry is very cool.
Quickly, Mike's in Syracuse. Mike, who's the coolest athlete ever?
Well, you can't be cool if you're not on the ice. This guy made a mullet a fashion statement. And once he finally retires and stops playing hockey, they'll put him in the Hall of Fame. Jaromir Jagr.
Yeah, but, Mike, you're right. Jaromir Jagr, super cool. Sorry, we're up against it. Got to go. But here's the thing. A mullet in Jagr's era, everyone had a mullet.
That was everybody.
Boomer Esiason made mullets cool. He's right down the hall.
Gosh, I'd like to hear from hockey fans who are the coolest hockey players.
What the hell was that? It's got to be Ron Duguay.
Oh, yeah. Of
Ron
course it's
Duguay.
Ron Duguay.
Hank Lundqvist.
Lundqvist is a little different. Ron Duguay was like wearing roller skates at Studio 54.
I used to think Paul Kariya was cool. Anaheim Ducks, sick scorer on the wing. That was my guy back in the day.
Yeah, because you like the movie Mighty Ducks.
Yeah, a little bit.
Gordon Bombay.
Look at EJ breaking down puck.
All right. Lots more to do, including college football playoff rankings. They suck.
You're in a 5-minute break. 4 minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. "45 seconds remaining. "30 seconds remaining. "15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Maggie and Perloff on the Infinity Sports Network.
Status around here, unhappy. Why? College Football Playoff Committee, Pearl, coming in to ruin a sport that has a lot of flaws anyway. College football, we kind of love it. The chaos is the function, not the bug, as they say. But,
yeah, it might be their best positive is this chaos.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
I think I'm getting sick of the show. You know, these college football playoff rankings come out on Tuesdays, and we have to react to them because they ultimately are the people who are going to set this bracket. It's just the inconsistencies, the double talk. It's infuriating. And if I'm a fan of one of these teams, if I'm Alabama, if I'm Miami, I have some serious gripes here with how the committee is landing on these 12 teams. And particularly Alabama, I don't know how you tumble and plummet 6 spots in this college football playoff ranking because of a 2-point loss to Oklahoma when you may have the best win of the entire college football season in beating Georgia. It's nonsensical to me. It's weird how Alabama has more ranked wins than Oregon, Notre Dame, Ole Miss, and all 3 of those teams are above them in the rankings. Like, there's just no rhyme or reason. And I'm just like, fast forward, let's just get the bracket, because to hear them explain this stuff is mind-numbing.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's obviously a show. I mean, let's wait till we see who Alabama plays in the playoff. It could work out well. Sometimes the bottom seeds are better than the top seeds. It all depends on how the bracket falls, right?
Well, the problem is, if I'm Alabama, if the playoff started today and if they actually put out the bracket correctly, you would be going on the road to play a game, that first round game, at someone else's campus. And I don't know what's going to happen, and Alabama could certainly pull off a road upset. But a lot of people thought Tennessee was going to go in last year to Ohio State, and they got thumped. And
yeah, but I mean, Ohio State won it out of the 8th spot.
That's fine. You're right.
Right.
But they got that home playoff game in the first round, and it made all the difference.
Not really. I think they would have beaten Tennessee anywhere.
Well, easy to say that in hindsight because they won the whole thing, but that's not how people were feeling when the Tennessee fans came and bought that whole stadium out. So, again, I just think that, there's no rhyme or reason to me in a real way. The committee just, they make an argument to fit whatever they want. And I think people are also kind of sick of Notre Dame continuing to skate by. Now, Notre Dame looks good. They passed the eye test, no doubt, but they are ranked and apparently in a different tier than the Miami Hurricanes, even though the Hurricanes did beat them.
Yeah. Good luck explaining that one. That's just reality. Listen, they have an assignment, Maggie. How can we get Notre Dame in and excuse them for losing to Miami, even though we can't fit Miami in because of the way the ACC is? Now, the fact that Miami won't get to the ACC title game puts them in a tough spot. They'd like to have both in. I'm sure they'd rather have Miami than what it would be Georgia Tech, Virginia. They'd much rather have Miami. But what are you going to do? It's the rules.
The rules, whatever that means.
I don't like rules.
Let's get to Ralph Russo, who's joining us this morning. We know it's a really, really busy time of year, so appreciate Ralph. He's a senior college sports writer for The Athletic. Ralph, thanks so much for the time. How you doing?
Good morning, guys. Yeah, we're just arguing about rankings all night is what I was mostly doing. Yeah. Trying to defend Miami, and then Miami fans get angry at me too. So I think you can't win. You can't win. You can't defend teams enough.
It's thankless. But how I found myself, Ralph, in a unique position today. I don't usually stand for Alabama because I think they have a lot of, after they got into the college football playoff over Florida State, I thought, all right, enough with the gifts here to Alabama. But I think they have a real legitimate gripe here today to drop all the way to 10. What do you think?
Well, I don't think so. I think what happened with Alabama, and I'm a voter in the AP poll, and I sort of went through a similar journey with Alabama in that they lose to Florida State, and that doesn't look good. But then they go on this great run, and they win about 6 or 7 in a row, including a lot of good teams. I think we fall into a trap of saying ranked win or not ranked win. Sometimes you just got to acknowledge where the good teams are. So they had a really nice run, and it was sort of easy to say, yeah, that Florida State, that was a fluke. Let's just put that over there and not worry about it. But I think what happens when you lose again, now people go, whoa. Okay, let's reassess what you were at Florida State, and that becomes a little more of a glaring mark on your resume. So I do think Oklahoma stole one on Saturday. Like, Alabama outgained Oklahoma by 200 yards. They -3 turnovers, gave up a pick six. Like, Alabama blew that game. And give credit for Oklahoma for stealing one on the road. But I don't necessarily think the committee treated Alabama poorly here. It looks like Alabama, if it wins out, will still make this playoff.
It's interesting. I'm looking at the top 7 all or one-loss teams, and the 2-loss teams are behind them. How many 2-loss teams do you expect to sort of make it? Will, for example, does BYU, if they end up with 1 loss, is that going to matter? I guess it's the ACC we're looking at. But generally, and then I get the question, would a 3-loss team have a chance? How much is win-loss record at the end of the day going to matter here?
I mean, it should. Ultimately, we want the games to matter. And that goes back to your conversation about Notre Dame and Miami and Oklahoma and head-to-head, right? Like, we don't have a lot of data points here to determine which of these teams is better. So we get very apprehensive about throwing the one data point that we have that is supposed to be definitive, right? Who won the game? Who won the game that was played? So wins and losses do matter. Wins and losses, depending on your quality of competition, also matters too. I mean, you brought up a BYU, right? That might not be the best example, because if BYU wins out and wins the Big 12, it will be a 1-loss team with an entrance via that category of bid, right? The top 5, the highest ranked conference champions get in. But I don't think a 3-loss team, like I thought a few weeks ago, we'd have a 3-loss team possibly in this mix. There's going to be enough good 10-2 teams, and we're looking at you, Texas, when we talk about this. We're like directly addressing Texas here, because there's no other 3-loss team I think that's going to be in the mix here. I don't think Texas's resume and the way Texas has played all year is good enough that even if they beat a very good Texas A&M team at the end of the year, that their 3 losses should be excused when you look at all the other teams like Miami, BYU, Alabama, Oklahoma that will be in the mix with 2 losses.
We're talking with Ralph Russo, covers college football, senior writer, The Athletic, great podcast as well to check out. All right, let's stay on Texas just for a second here, Ralph, because it doesn't look like they're going to get in. They dropped to 17. The first season of Arch Manning starting at quarterback didn't go great. I mean, some high points, sure, definitely got better over the course of the season. But now we're getting some drips and drabs here about Steve Sarkisian maybe looking elsewhere. Diana Rossini, your colleague at The Athletic, had the report that Sark's people, his agents, were kind of poking around. He denied that. And then Desmond Howard, of all people, kind of comes out with this sort of, hey, there could be a change at Texas. What do you make of some of these rumors about Sark?
Okay, well, I don't think or see any reason why Texas would want to change. This has been not the season Texas signed up for by any stretch. They were the number 1 team in the preseason. Frankly, maybe those expectations were out of bounds. Maybe they were a little too high, and those were Now, listen, they embraced those expectations. I was at Texas during the spring, and they were talking about how they have become this program that replaces great players with other great players, and that was what they were striving for. They, not that. Listen, they weren't touting themselves as number 1 in the preseason, but again, they embraced where they had climbed as a program, that they could now be a preseason number 1 and a program that could consistently contend for national championships, right? That type of level program. And they slipped back from that this year, and they're going to be either 9-3 or 8-4. That doesn't mean that they're really taking a massive step back this year. Arch Manning will almost certainly be back next year. They were a bit of a younger team that had 4 new offensive line starters. There's a lot of guys on that team. They're losing some on defense, but there's a lot of guys on that team that will return next year and should be better. They're still recruiting at a high level. Texas shouldn't want to move on from Steve Sarkisian, but Steve Sarkisian spent time in the NFL as an offensive coordinator, and I just think this is a blanket statement for all these coaches. If the NFL comes calling, there will always be a temptation to do that. Frankly, at this point now, NFL head coach is probably, I don't want to say an easier job, but I think it's a more manageable job. You kind of know exactly what your job is, and that is to coach ball.
But why would the NFL call Sark now? Maggie and I were talking about this. Like the first time he even said it, this is the first time in my life I can't run the ball. Like this is a disastrous offense.
That might be a better question for my colleague Diana, who knows the NFL, but and that's fair too. And the other thing that comes up, listen, sometimes it's who you know, right? I mean, Sark has a reputation, and maybe they look at like this season and go, we know he's good at what he does, but things didn't work out this year, right? We have a larger sample size that says that he's good at what he does. The other thing too is it is leverage season, right? And I think every agent for every coach, whether it's leveraging other jobs in college or leveraging NFL jobs. And the thing is, if you have the Texas job, you have one of the best 2 or 3 jobs. So it's hard to say, well, maybe my guy will go to Auburn. Well, you're not leaving Texas for Auburn. Well, maybe my guy will go to LSU. Well, LSU is kind of a circus right now. It's a great program, but it's a little bit of circus. You're not leaving. So where is the leverage? Well, the leverage would be maybe my guy will go to the NFL.
Ralph Russo is joining us, senior writer for The Athletic. All right, speaking of leverage, Lane Kiffin seems to have it all. LSU is calling. Florida is calling. We presume Ole Miss is going to try to do everything they can to keep him. Is Lane worth all this fuss? Number one. And number two, where do you think he's leaning, Ralph?
Boy, where he's leaning is a tough one. Getting into the mind, and this is not a knock at Lane. Getting into the mind of Lane Kiffin is a difficult thing. Like you even talk to people at Ole Miss. He is, it's interesting. He lives his life publicly in social media in a way that makes him seem very outgoing and gregarious. The little I've known, in my time knowing him and also knowing people around him, he actually is not that way. He tends to be like a small circle kind of person. You ask people at Ole Miss and he really isn't open up to anybody around here, but he's a good ball coach and he does his thing. Is he worth it? It is interesting to see the arc of Lane Kiffin's career, right? This is a guy who was fired from an NFL job at 32, 33. He got fired on the tarmac at USC. He left Tennessee to go to USC and he started a riot on campus because he did it after 1 year. He was fired by Nick Saban the week before a national championship game. Nick Saban, he was offensive coordinator on a national championship Alabama team or on a team that played for the national championship. And Saban was like, you know what? I know you're getting another job. You're done here. Just go. He's had almost a backward career to a certain degree, right? As far as he started in the NFL and ended up in college. He is a really good coach. I do think there is something to the narrative that he has matured as he has gotten older. He's gotten his life back in order a little bit, not drinking anymore, taking better care of himself. He's a really talented coach with a good track record of success. Is he worth all this fuss in a market where that is insane as it is right now, where there's not a lot of proven winners? There are 2 big SEC schools that want to win national championships that are looking for proven winners. Yes, I guess to a certain degree, he is worth all this fuss because who else are you going to hire that has his resume and cachet?
What about Penn State? We have not talked about Penn State as much the last couple of weeks because we've been so focused on LSU.
Yeah, I got to say, I don't know if I've got necessarily a whole bunch of good stuff to enlighten you with because Penn State has been working, I don't want to say under the radar. There's bits and drabs coming out of there about who they're kicking the tires on. There was talk about Brian Daboll maybe getting some interest, the fired Giants coach. Names Clark Lee and Bob Chesney, though, again, Clark Lee seems to be, the Vanderbilt coach, seems to be a guy who might fit Penn State's profile, but there hasn't been a ton of buzz around that. Jeff Brom, but again, I feel like the names that have come up there feel more speculative than as a reporter, okay, I got good information. I know this is who they're interested in. So it seems like Pat Kraft, the AD there, has done a good job of keeping his circle small, not getting a ton of leaks. Listen, a lot of stuff is going to go down in the next 2.5 weeks. And it also begs this question, guys. These schools fire their coaches in September and October, and they can do a lot of work to try to prepare. But ultimately, almost all of the decisions come down to what happens right now. Right now, the coaches that you're talking to are starting to become engaged, and the pieces start playing out around the country, and you really know who's on board with you. So there could be a coach that ends up at Penn State that we haven't talked about at all because things over the next week and a half break in a certain way where that coach maybe becomes available when they otherwise would not have.
Ralph Russo joining us for just another minute or two. And thank you so much, Ralph, for doing this. You can read him on The Athletic. Great job, as always, and the podcast as well. Okay, we're getting to that point of the season where it looks like the NFL teams, Pearl, sometimes see the writing on the wall, that they're going to be looking more towards the draft next year than what's going on. And what are we in, week 12? Yeah. Fernando Mendoza, still the favorite to win the Heisman. Number one quarterback in the class. Like, I know you're a college guy, not so much about the NFL, but does he fit the profile of a number one overall pick or first quarterback taken in an NFL draft?
I'll go with the guys like Dane Brugler who do it for us. I'll take their word on it to me for the general scouting eval, and they seem to think that he does. But I have seen the guy in person play. I saw him against Oregon. And, I've watched a lot of football too. He's really athletic. He's a lot bigger than he sort of looks like. He's a guy who probably can put a couple more pounds on his frame. And he makes NFL throws. Like, he makes big time throws. In fact, I would argue, like, I don't know if Indiana is so much better than they were last year, except for they have an NFL quarterback playing quarterback. He can move around. I guess I put it this way. I think of Cam Ward as a guy who I didn't necessarily view as a number one overall pick, but the way things work in the NFL, if you're the best quarterback, you're often the number one overall pick. And I kind of find myself thinking like Mendoza in some ways is a better prospect than Ward. Ward was a little out of structure, and you kind of wondered how that would translate in the NFL. Whereas with Mendoza, that offense that he comes from in Indiana is very much structured, and he runs it and orchestrates it beautifully.
What about another quarterback, Dante Moore at Oregon, who I know Maggie saw live? He's in a lot of mock drafts at the top. Do you definitely think he would be going pro because he's very young? He'll be 20 at the time of the draft. And B, is he in the same kind of conversation that you're talking about as Mendoza?
I think he actually might be the higher ceiling player with a little more overall talent. Remember, Mendoza, I want to say, is probably closer to 22 and a little more developed here. The question of whether he would go or not is a super interesting one, right? And here's a couple of quick layers, right? Does he lead Oregon to a national title or a national title game? Now all of a sudden he zooms up the board, and now you're not talking about 10 to 15 or maybe back end of the first round. You're talking about a clear first, like 1-1 or very top of the first round. At that point, the money, even though Oregon, I'm sure, can do some very nice things for him NIL wise, but at some point the money shifts and you kind of gotta go here. So I would say that will be determined by how the next month or so plays out. If Moore plays himself into a position where, hey man, you're going to be a top 5 pick, it's time. Like, going back can only hurt you. But if you're slipping more towards the middle here and you're a little, your performance is a little spotty over the last half of the season, then there's a great opportunity to go back, improve your stock, and hey, by the way, also make a couple of bucks.
Yeah, how much would Oregon pay? I mean, we're talking 8 to 10 million, right?
Oh, I don't know if even Oregon. Well, here's the thing. I'll try to be quick here. Whether they could give him 8 to 10 million of sort of NIL rev share check, I don't think they could do that. But if you're Oregon, you could probably, hey, we'll make sure you sign with Nike, right? And you can start collecting those checks. Like, I think there's a couple of different ways players get paid. And part of it is like, we can create some sponsorship opportunities, like above board, that's not just us cutting a check, that really does set you up to be very well compensated. But can we pay you $8 million out of our rev share? Well, no, because we don't have enough to go around to the rest of our team.
Ralph, I think we're going to have to leave it right there. We're flat out of time. Didn't even get to James Franklin. We'll have to do that another time. Appreciate it. Love reading you in The Athletic, doing fantastic work, whether it's just your columns, you together with Bruce Feldman doing these deep dives on what happened at LSU, Penn State, all these places. It's just been phenomenal. So thank you so much.
Thanks, guys. Have a great day.
Appreciate that. My question about Franklin, you can mull on this, chew this over while we have to take a quick break. I couldn't tell if James Franklin taking the Virginia Tech job, is this the next 12 years of his life, like he spent 12 years at Penn State, or is he looking at this as sort of a stopgap before he gets back to the Big Ten of the SEC?
Oh, no, I don't think anyone's going to hire him in those schools.
Well, hold that thought. 888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. Also coming up, we do have some quarterback injury news. We promised we'd get to it. We will do that next. M&P.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. 45 seconds remaining. Thirty seconds remaining. Fifteen seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
All right, this Thursday Night Football preview is sponsored by Square. More than 4 million neighborhood businesses run on Square. To learn more, go to square.com or just stop by your favorite local business. See you in the neighborhood. Square. Okay. Tomorrow night. I'm worried about you, Maggie. Bills at Texans. Texans are 6-point underdogs. I know how you are, and I already know that you're not feeling confident. As confident as you probably should be.
No, obviously not. First of all, the spread's too big. Houston is...
Spread's too big. What does that mean?
It's going to be a closer game than that, is what I mean.
Bills.
And Davis Mills, meanwhile, let a 26-point come-from-behind comeback against the Jags. They said it was the worst loss in Jags history, was handed to him by Davis Mills. And then they beat the Titans. Okay, fine. But so no C.J. Stroud, as you mentioned. Here's my biggest thing from the Bills' perspective. This is a very good defense, again, the Houston defense.
Definitely.
Right.
Yeah.
So James Cook may not be a factor. So that means what? Josh Allen Superman times 1,000 game again.
Right.
And when you get a Josh Allen Superman game, you do get 6 touchdowns, but you're also going to get probably an interception or 2, maybe a fumble. So it's going to be touch and go here. I think it's, they're going to, again, ask Josh Allen to do way too much. And the defensive injury report on the Bills defense, if I can talk, is a laundry list. So it's gonna be
Yeah,
tough.
I mean, maybe they're just resting guys because it's a Thursday night game. I don't know. I mean, if you can't beat
Dalton Kincaid on the offensive side also did not practice, so I'm assuming he's out.
Texans look, well, that's a big deal, by the way, but the Texans looked awful last week. Like, if you can't beat that team, then I'm sorry, it's not the year.
Listen, I'll agree with you. That's why this went from, okay, the Bills have to hang on to, if they lose this game, it's the most disappointing loss of the season outside of Miami.
What's longer, Davis Mills' neck or your foot?
Same. It's a tie.
I mean, you're saying it's a Mike Glennon style?
Yeah,
neck?
I was just about to say I'll raise you Mike Glennon.
Yeah, no, Davis
I don't
Mills.
think of Davis Mills
Morton
like
Hanks,
that.
I think, is probably the best, right?
Davis Mills, there's a lot from collarbone to chin on Davis Mills.
What about that baseball player, no neck?
Merton Hanks, pardon me.
Yeah, Merton.
My bad.
Wasn't there a baseball player with no neck?
Oh my gosh, Davis Mills has a huge neck. I never knew that.
I know. You
But
can
it's
wear a
still not.
turtleneck
Mike
and
Glennon's
going.
Mike Glennon's got such a small head, though, that it sticks out more.
Yes, Mike Glennon is the patron saint of this subset of humans, but Davis Mills is in the neighborhood for sure.
Is this unattractive to
women?
Yeah.
I mean, he's 6'4".
He's actually a good-looking dude.
But here's the
7
thing.
inches off of his neck.
Sorry?
Yeah? What was that? Were you asking about women?
Ask again why you're single.
Again, the RT app is free to rewind.
You can see over the line. So.
Yeah.
All the lines.
Former number 1 overall recruit, Davis Mills.
Was he really?
I think so, yeah. EJ, fact check me on that one. Wasn't he? He was massive, massive deal before, I think, he went to Stanford. I don't think he did 2 schools. But yeah, Davis Mills is pretty good, by the way.
I know.
At certain moments. Yeah, I kind of get why you're nervous about this one. You've been circling this game forever. You mentioned that the Texans have a good history against the Bills.
Yep. In Houston, for sure.
According to 247 Sports, Davis Mills, number 1 ranked quarterback.
Yeah, he was a huge deal.
This was 2017.
Yeah. He was a huge deal. A bit disappointing in college. Then he had a big draft run, and then he fell a little bit. And also, he's got 2 last names. Davis Mills.
That's crazy. Like, what is it? 8 years ago, the number 1 ranked recruit was going to Stanford.
Yeah.
Wow, they got, I mean, This kid, David Bailey at Texas Tech, was at Stanford. I can't figure that one out either.
Yeah, I don't know what's Stanford.
Why did McCaffrey go to Stanford? You have to be, maybe they're smart. Is that why they go to Stanford?
Yeah, you go for the
Maybe
education.
they're smart, palms to the sky.
I mean, like, honestly, like, yeah. I'm
why go to an
mystified,
Ivy
too.
college?
Yeah, bro, why'd you go to Dartmouth?
Well, I couldn't play football. If I was a number one overall
Good thing,
recruit,
'cause
Stanford would not
Dartmouth's
be my choice. Yeah. Wait, would you go to Stanford to hand the ball off to Toby Gerhart? You would go to Alabama or Georgia.
I agree.
You don't go to Stanford. I mean, that's what we're talking about here.
Toby Gerhart, wow.
Richard Sherman, also Stanford
Hey, he's
grad,
a
right?
six-round pick, right?
Andrew Luck. Remember
Wow.
that guy?
That's true. Luck, number one recruit.
Luck
But he's
went
a
back to school,
brainiac.
too.
Christian McCaffrey, awesome guy, but Toby Gerhart, my first favorite white running back.
You always remember your first.
Oh yeah, that guy was a wrecking
Wait,
ball.
more than Peyton Hillis?
Yeah, Peyton Hillis is the one.
He's
that
on
comes
the
to my
cover of
mind.
Madden. I would have thought
But
that would
Peyton
be.
Hillis was he was kind of like a flash in the pan a little bit. Like Toby Gerhart had I think 2 great years at Stanford. He was you couldn't. I just knew he was gonna be a good NFL player, and look, he wasn't. Damn it.
By the way, that's a former Giant, Peyton Hillis, by the way, to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, speaking of former Giants in the news, or current Giants in the news, how about Cam Scadaboo ends up at WWE Monday Night Raw?
Speaking of white running back.
Another one. He could be your new fave.
Yeah, that's not exactly.
Living up to his blockhead reputation. Obviously, we love Scadaboo around here, authentic as they come, but he shows up at the WWE Monday Night Raw and is part of the storyline while he's got a hurt foot.
Yeah.
What? You think he just jumped in there?
I mean, I don't listen. It's all scripted.
Yeah.
I'm sure this was all part. Yeah, newsflash. I'm sure this was all part of it. But like, did you really have to make it physical, man? Like your ankle was like
in a
facing.
boot.
Yeah, I mean, also like 5 weeks ago was facing Spain. So I mean, could we not?
Well, he's not playing again this year.
I understand, but like, what if he slipped and fell?
Manny, if you want the blockhead and you want him leading with his head while he runs into the end zone for you, you got to take the whole thing.
That's
this
great.
is what Perloff always tells me
Yeah.
about Draymond Green. You can't have half Draymond.
Yeah.
No,
you
but,
want the
like,
guy, you got to take the crazy.
You can go to Raw. You can go to Raw all you want, but like, watch it from the suite, man.
You are
Just watch it
making
from
a
the suite.
rational argument.
Like-
this doesn't work with guys
this
like
reminds
that.
me. This reminds me of when Jalen Brunson went out on the. I don't know what WWE event.
Oh,
it was, but he
yeah.
was out on the ring, and then this was fresh off of hand surgery, and then he uses that hand to push off, and then he starts flexing at his wrists, like, man, I have something that rides on you, man. What are you doing? What are you thinking? Please stop.
Is that a him problem or is that a you problem?
That's both of our issues.
That one's a you problem.
It's both of our issues.
Did you guys see Jalen Brunson actually retweeted
Scadaboo?
Oh boy, Scadaboo, yeah. He posted like an Edge gif because he also went out there injured in the WWE ring.
Goose Fraba.
Anyway, it got kind of like pushy and
Yeah,
shovey
pretty
over
physical.
there.
Yeah.
I would love to see Manny trying to talk some sense into Cam Scadaboo. How do you think that conversation would go,
Yeah, the
man?
guy who's
one
woke-
ear and out the other one, just like if you were trying to talk to me. That's 2 airheads talking to airheads.
You're talking to a guy who has said he has to assert his dominance over a taco.
You've
So
got to be a sub to the taco.
good luck. Manny, get on a Twitch stream and talk to your guy.
Yeah,
It's
that's not
easy
going to
these
get
days.
That's not going to get anywhere.
Put his foot up to the camera. That's my move.
You do that.
Stop
many
stealing my
cameras?
material.
You always
it's a wide angle
become
lens.
the sub to the taco.
It's a panoramic. All right, Bogues, what do you got?
Headline sponsored by Skechers. Watch the Skechers World Champions Cup this December 4th, 5th, and 7th on ESPN and ABC.
You got a pair of Skechers, Maggie?
My kid wears Skechers.
They don't make them that big?
I have to order them special.
Landed that one well.
Yeah,
Right
you set me
now,
up.
there are 5 SEC schools in the 12-team CFP bracket. 6 is still technically possible, but highly unlikely, with Texas falling to number 17 after getting hammered by Georgia last week. And the Bulldogs are 4th this week, replacing Alabama after their loss to Oklahoma. The projected first-round matchups this week are Oregon, Alabama, Ole Miss, Miami, Oklahoma, Notre Dame, and Texas Tech, Tulane. The Green Wave ranked 24th, but get in the bracket as the group of 5 rep. Now, back in hour number 1, Manny had a calm, well-thought-out argument against the Yankees keeping center fielder Trent
Who
Grisham.
I love.
But what does John in Maspeth, Queens think about the news?
Let's go to John in Maspeth. Hey, John.
This moron Brian Cashman is an idiot. He bit off more than he could chew. He read the wrong cards. Now he's got to deal with this one-hit wonder, overpaid with a couple more $1 million, when it got to Cody Bellinger, now we got to hear how Steinbrenner got to the damn pennies. Oh, payroll, what's we got? We got Aaron Judge and Garrett Cole in their damn prime, and we're wasting it with Trent Grisham. No!
That's baseball.
Yeah.
I mean, he made some salient points.
He did?
Yeah.
He stopped speaking a language in the middle of that. It was just noises.
No, he's speaking Arabic.
Listen, us apologists,
sorry?
people who speak multiple languages, we understood what John said. Polygist. Polygist.
Nope.
I think you're getting further away.
Well, then help me out, damn it.
Plagiarist.
Nope.
I don't know what you're trying to say. Polylinguist?
No.
I don't think that's a word.
I think there's a word like polyglot. That is,
Yeah,
but
good
I don't know
job.
how you make it like the IST form that you're trying to get to.
As a
Listen,
man who's
man.
engaged, I'm just staying away from the word poly in this whole conversation.
Why? What's it mean?
Yeah. Don't start any rumors.
Grisham, if you couldn't tell, accepted the Yankees' $22 million qualifying offer yesterday instead of testing the open market. LeBron James, 11 points, 12 assists in 30 minutes, and the Lakers' 140-126 home win over the Jazz. LeBron's season debut delayed by sciatica. He is now the first player in NBA history to play 23 seasons.
I got a player comp for old LeBron.
Okay.
Go ahead.
He could be Draymond Green to this team. That might be already out there, but he looked like Draymond last night. Just a big, thick guy throwing dimes all over the court.
And yelling at fans and dirty shots, or just
No, I was thinking
Kicking
more of the
people
way
in
he
the
plays.
junk? Kicking
Like
himself in the junk?
Obviously, he was a distributor last night. That
Yeah.
feels like a very good role for him.
Yep.
Not have to score as much. I don't know if he can defend like Draymond, but I only saw the highlights. His passes on the highlights look like the Globetrotters. That guy was feeling it.
I mean, he's a great passer. He's one of the greatest passers ever.
Maybe because remember he started out as a great passer. We yelled at him for not shooting enough.
I know. Well, the comp was always Magic more than Jordan, but we
Yeah.
got carried away.
Yeah, I mean he could have been like that, but he was just too good at scoring.
Dear Pistons fans, get ready to meet our favorite frontrunner, Andrew Perloff.
Cade trying to get free. Works his way to a fade and hits it in the dotted line.
That's when you tell the crowd, shut up.
Whoa, Cade Cunningham, 25 points, 10 assists. After missing a week, the Pistons extending their win streak to 11, 120-112 in Atlanta.
Pearl, can you name another player not named Cade Cunningham on the Pistons?
You haven't read my Jalen Duren for MVP diatribe?
I don't know how to read.
Your Substack?
Yeah, Jalen Duren is. I was talking to him about both. Like all of a sudden they have like a combo of Ben Wallace and Karl Malone on their team. When did Jalen Duren become that good?
But he's supposed to be. He was supposed to be that.
Yeah, I
good in high
remember
school.
in the draft. Like I remember his name, but God, is he really, really good right now?
You'll love him more. He's a Philly guy.
He's from Philly. Where's he from?
Oh no!
I'm sorry. This look, you know how much I love high school recruiting.
Oh,
Okay,
man.
been following Jalen Duren since he was 16.
But I'll tell you right now, that is a man, and then like that is like you run into that guy in the lane, like you bounce right off. That is a man's man.
That's a man.
That is a hunk of beef, Jalen Duren. No, but
A hunk of what?
hunk of beef.
Went to Roman Catholic, by the way.
Roman Catholic, where my
Oh, it's getting hot over here.
Pants optional.
that's where
Hunk of a man, Roman Catholic. Whew, you're speaking his language.
Brian Shorter.
Where's he get a cheese
Yeah, I didn't
steak?
remember Brian Shorter. No,
Ishka Bibbles?
You guys did not. Brian Shorter went to Roman Catholic. He's the greatest Philadelphia basketball player of all time. Went to Pitt and had a cup of coffee in the NBA. But no, the Pistons are it's just
Definitely
like.
better than Rashid Wallace.
What was I talking about the first thing I came in this morning?
You're like, whoa, Pistons.
Are the Pistons going to be in the NBA Finals again? Is that
Fingers
happening?
crossed.
Pants optional.
Well, this is the whole thing with the Eastern Conference being wide open. Everyone thinks it's going to be the Knicks, but it could be the Pistons.
I don't think it's wide open anymore. I think it's a chase to the
Pistons?
top. Like
Yep.
Detroit's looking down on everybody. We'll see.
Curious how they handle success. That's always what happens with these teams. You get to that top, but when people start playing in the playoffs and looking forward to those matchups, like Cleveland last year.
Lights got too bright.
Jared Allen.
U.S. men's soccer, 4 first-half goals to rout Uruguay last night, 5-1 in a friendly in Tampa. The Americans playing these exhibitions because they don't have to qualify for this summer's World Cup. Haiti did clinch its spot last night. First time that country going since 1974, and they do so without playing a home match at all in qualifying because of civil unrest in their country. In fact, their coach is French. He's never actually been to Haiti.
Really?
But he's the coach of the Haitian men's national soccer team, and he just got them into the World Cup for the first time since '74.
Where did they just play? They just played this.
They played in Curacao.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
In Wilmestad?
That I can't help you with.
Okay.
Nor do I know the name of the field they played on.
Well, that's the country capital. I'm good with capitals too, by the way, guys.
Oh,
No
yeah?
way.
Oh, really?
State capitals.
We're country.
Vermont.
Montpellier.
All right.
South Dakota?
Wait, are you good with country
Bismarck.
capitals too?
Oh, I could do a couple. I think I could dabble. I think if we did an Odyssey New York geography country capitals, I think I would medal.
Hedge your bets.
You went from I would pants you guys to I would medal.
Get your bets in, people.
I don't want to toot my own horn like that because God forbid, I don't come up in the clutch, but I'd medal.
So you're the Jalen Duren of capitals? Is that what you're saying
I've
here?
heard that. Yeah, I've heard that multiple
Hunk of a
times.
man.
Or like the Ryan Lochte of this medaling
More
bronze.
like I went to I'm Andrew Luck. Damn it, I went to Stanford when it comes to this stuff.
If we were in South Dakota and we wanted to go to the state, okay. Try to sneak one in.
No, yeah, I'm done. You want to go to Montana? Let's go to Helena. You know what I mean?
And we've turned into 8th grade
And
social
if you want to
studies.
go to Washington, it's not Seattle. It's Olympia.
How about Missouri?
Missouri.
How about
Jefferson
it?
City.
Oh, that's always a tough one.
Yeah.
Nice, I'm in.
Mississippi.
Oxford.
Ooh, I
I
don't think
thought
so.
Springfield, or I don't know.
Springfield, that sounds more like
The Simpsons.
Springfield.
No.
No,
Probably
Jackson.
It's
Jackson.
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 Yeah, that one I
Jackson's
thought I
Mississippi.
knew.
Yeah.
All right, you're out.
Biloxi, same thing.
What
Third
about
place.
Kentucky? What about
Oxford
Kentucky?
was
Take this bronze medal.
What about Kentucky?
Frankfurt.
Very good. 888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. Okay.
I'm a great American.
Well, there's women forming a line outside the door. man. It's going
I'm a
well.
great
Someone
American.
know the capital of
Spectacular
Ecuador?
American.
Okay.
Quito.
I knew you'd know that one. Okay.
I digress.
Speaking of Tegucigalpa,
Try the segue, Maggie.
Quarterback injuries. We do that next.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. 2 minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. .45 seconds remaining. .30 seconds remaining. .15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
You never know what you'll see during the college football weekend. Here is Maggie and Perloff's big moment on campus.
Welcome back to the show. M&P. All right, last week, Pearl, our big moment on campus. Who could forget when Fran Brown got into it, the Syracuse head coach, with legendary Hurricanes wide receiver Michael Irvin.
How you doing? All due respect. I love how you play. Don't get used to this. I got you, coach. I got you, coach. I appreciate you, coach. I appreciate the intensity, coach. That's good. That's what it takes. Good job, man. Good job.
It's such a patronizing good job. That's not a good job at all. Michael Irvin's like, I don't even know who you are. Fran Brown. Anyway, bringing it to the legend. Pearl, that was last week's big moment on campus. This week we bring you the barn burner between UC Davis and Montana State. Now, we don't really have a football aspect to this to talk about, but somebody showed up driving a trash can.
Would you want to drive a trash can, yes or no?
Yes. I mean, garbage day is Wednesday in Orlando, so Tuesday I bring the garbage out every night, 2 of those. I'd love to put a little motor on them, scoot down my driveway.
Montana State just got a 28-yard field goal. They've scored 17.
And the 2-2. Somebody would literally put a motor on a trash can, Pearl, and they were driving it on the field, and it had, bumper stickers all over it. It was all tricked out. A big, gigantic trash can. Like not an Oscar the Grouch kind of thing, like a real industrial size one, and they were driving it over the field.
And why?
S's and G's, man. It's college football.
College football, baby. This is America.
Why not?
FCS football, baby.
Honestly,
move over Marshawn Lynch driving the injury cart. We got Montana State guy driving the trash can on the field.
I think it's a situation like, can you drive a trash can? Yes. Should they drive the trash can? Should be asked as well.
This trash can was actually the one used by the Houston Astros all the way back in 2017.
Oh, man, they wish.
Oh, is that why they were doing it?
No. This was like one of those, I don't know how to describe it. The lid's attached. Anyway, it's amazing. The guy's driving a trash can. This is like what hobbyists. I'm glad people still have hobbies because I think social media has kind of ruined our brains where you can just scroll now instead of doing stuff. And this guy was like, you know what? I'm going to make a car out of trash can. We used to do things like that in America, guys.
Yeah,
we used to innovate.
We used to build railroads in this country.
Manny, do you have an apology you'd like to give to America?
Yeah, I would like to apologize to the United States of America and to the fine people of South Dakota for getting their state capital incorrect. It is not Bismarck because Bismarck is not in the state of South Dakota. It would be Pierre. Pierre is the capital of South Dakota.
So that's going to be on Manny because the rest of us did not pretend to be experts in state capitals or world capitals.
I mean, you guys probably could have stopped me, but whatever.
Manny, you're having a bad week because you missed the Cleveland Browns stadium name. That was so embarrassing.
It's been a rough year and a half. So I mean,
you're a person who when you can't sleep at night starts Googling stadium names.
Yeah, that's what I do, unfortunately, because I don't have a girlfriend.
Yeah, or maybe it's a cause and effect.
I don't think so.
If you were going to date somebody from West Virginia, what would her capital be?
Don't do it.
It's
not working anymore,
Dude, you're not
Pearl.
even meddling in the Odyssey competition. Billy out there just yelled Charleston. I heard him say
Yeah, Charleston. That's what I thought it was, too.
All right.
That's what I thought it was. Oh, God.
Okay, I'll give you a layup. How about Pennsylvania?
Philadelphia.
Nope, it's Harrisburg, which is closer to Pittsburgh than it is to Philly, I think.
No, I think
and
it's
let's go to Aaron Rodgers. I'm trying to get us back to sports here, guys.
I think it's a little closer to Philly. Let me pull up the map quest here. Go ahead.
All right, well, you do that.
MapQuest.
Cut his mic. And let's talk about Aaron Rodgers for a second. So he's got a small fracture in his non-throwing hand. Apparently, Pearl, he really wants to play, or he's maybe pushing to play.
No.
But I don't know. I just don't think this is a smart idea. Listen, Mason Rudolph can win you games, a game. And how are you going to take any kind of snap under center if you have a slight break in your wrist?
It's a great question. And I agree with you. Mason Rudolph has a proven success record. I mean, yes, he's not Aaron Rodgers, but this game is going to be really close. I think you have to rest him. I imagine that wrist, I don't know anything about how this injury works, but it's got to be better in 2 weeks than it is going to be in 4 days.
Yeah, I don't know either. So Steelers on the road at the Bears. Bears slight favorite, 2.5 points. I don't know if that means Rodgers is playing or is not playing. I can't really tell with that spread. But here's
I
the
don't
thing
think
about
there's
the
a
Bears.
difference.
Well, here's the thing about the Bears. Let's think about this, right? They have this 7-3 record. They're in first place in the NFC North. But how are they winning these games? Like, really,
Close.
last
And they're
second.
playing nobody. They're playing. They haven't beaten anybody who. I saw a stat. They haven't beaten a single team this year that would be in the playoffs right now.
I think that defensively, the way that Pittsburgh has been playing over the last couple weeks, you should be able to hang in this game even without Mason Rudolph or without Aaron Rodgers.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's honestly, you could even look at Pittsburgh and say T.J. Watt's more important than Aaron Rodgers because Aaron Rodgers hasn't even sniffed 300 yards in a game. They're a conservative team. You got to rest him because if you're going to go anywhere, I think big picture, if you're talking about high ceiling, Aaron Rodgers gives you a better chance than Mason Rudolph. But in this week, it's pretty close.
Yeah, I also think for the Steelers, what's going to end up being most important here is what happens in those 2 games against Baltimore, right? Don't you kind of feel like that's what the season is ultimately going to come down to? Yeah. To win the AFC North is going to be by far your easiest way to get into the postseason. It might be your only way.
Oh, absolutely. Except you have to ask, too, can they get in the wild card?
Well, that's what I think they have to win the division. They feel a lot better about that, but you still have 2 against the Ravens. I want Aaron Rodgers healthy for those games.
Yeah, it's a good point. I would rest him as well. I think he probably will rest. I know they're talking a tough game now, and if Aaron Rodgers wants to go in, does he have the power to say, I want to play? Because, Aaron Rodgers has, in the past, forced himself onto the field. I don't know if that's a good idea.
How about the next 3 for the Steelers? So after you get through the Bears this week, then you home for the Bills, at the Ravens, and then Dolphins. Listen, I don't think the Dolphins, I know there's some idea that they're going to go on this big run or whatever, Pearl. I think you're into that. I don't think they're going to win in Pittsburgh in December.
Yeah.
But the Bills game and that Ravens game, Bills if you're talking about potential wild card, Ravens if you're talking about win the division, those are way more important than this week.
Great point. I absolutely agree. By the way, Harrisburg, 102 miles from Philadelphia, 200 miles from Pittsburgh.
Okay.
So it's really a Philly school,
Sure.
Penn State. I don't know how I got into Penn State, but Harrisburg.
Yeah,
How do we get? Yeah, well, Harrisburg's
State
right by
capitals.
Penn State. Yeah. So we are both team bench Rodgers. Watch him go out there and just light up the night.
Well, he does have this amazing run in Chicago when he was with the Packers.
Yeah. Oh my God, I forgot about his ownership of that franchise.
I don't. Does the ownership stay when you're not with the Packers anymore?
We're about to find out.
Did he play them when he was with the Jets last year?
No.
All right. Find out.
That's where we got to leave it. Thank you, EJ Stewart, Manny Rodriguez, Andrew Bogusch, Andrew Kaplan. Guido's Coffee Drinkers, thank you to Matt Moscano. Thank you to Ralph Russo, who joined us. Tomorrow, Maggie and Perloff's King of the Mountain comes your way. Have a good one.